Aha. That's all I have to say is aha. What do you think?
Works for me.
It's like I made a discovery, but I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I did discover one thing this morning, though. This was a discovery. I will tell you this. If I leave my house at 7:15 in the morning, it takes me 10 minutes to get here.
Okay.
I left my house at 7:27 this morning, took 25 minutes to get here.
I had the same thing kind of happen to me.
What the heck? Where'd all that traffic come from in 15 minutes?
I usually like am walking out the door like 6:20, 6:30, and then
Right.
I can get here by like 6:45, get stuff done. I think I left at like 6:45 today, run a little bit late. I got here about 7:15.
I'm telling you.
It just gets backed up. It's crazy.
Is there something going on in town today that maybe would cause that? Well, I don't know anything that would cause that kind of traffic. It was a lot of traffic, man.
Yeah. Nobody's coming into town for the Twins game. That's for sure.
Well, there is that. A very good point. You know, I haven't kept my eye on that one. Is Texas up 2-0? Did they win? I don't even know if they won.
Yes, yeah. No, they
checking
did. They won. They won game 2 yesterday, and
Yep.
then I want to say the Phillies took a 1-game series lead over the Diamondbacks.
So it might be the Phillies in Texas.
Yep, that's what it's looking like if
Kinda
things
looks
hold.
like right now.
Mhm.
Baseball is baseball, no question about it. So I'll always learn that if you're going to leave at 7:27 or later, it's going to take almost a half an hour to get somewhere. It takes me 10 minutes if I leave 15 minutes earlier.
We were about 3 minutes away from me going in there and saying, Tevin, we're gonna have to hold down the fort today.
I know. Wow, man, I couldn't believe it. So it's going to be a beautiful day, by the way. I should run this by because maybe that's why everybody's going into work early so they can get the hell out. Get out by about 2:00 and enjoy the warm weather. Patchy fog, otherwise warmer and mostly sunny with a high of 64. Yeah, baby. Oof.
Summer day.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, not as cool, with a low of 49. Wednesday, mainly cloudy, just a few showers with a high of 61. Cloudy and 61 is not bad either, man. Thursday, breezy and partly sunny with an isolated shower, high of 58. Friday, 61 and mostly sunny. Saturday, 60 and mostly sunny. Sunday, 56 and mostly sunny. Beautiful weather. I mean, a couple of showers mixed in, but throughout the week, it looks really, really nice. Today is going to be gorgeous, man. Sunny and 64 today. Right now, it's partly cloudy. It's 38 degrees right now, so good stuff coming up there. But I don't know what to cover because I agree with nothing that's in the news this morning at all. Everybody hates everybody. I have a question for you, and you guys are just the right age. And mix, get it? Mix, because there's a black guy and a hunky. There's a mix. I love doing that kind of stuff. It's so great. Honest to God. Now I forgot what the hell I was going to say. It was important too. Damn it. Okay, we got the fact that you leave the house at 7:15. We already covered that part. I still can't believe how much. And by the way, when there's that much traffic, the driving is much worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people getting in and out of every lane and blocking traffic. And God, a weird deal. Okay, so well, I suppose we better look at some. Now, here are the headlines in the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal tends to be kind of a centrist, maybe leaning a little right publication, you think?
Yeah,
I could agree with that. Yeah.
That's about right. Not really right, but leaning a little that way. Hamas and Black Lives Matter in Chicago. Then you got some protests in Chicago. Chicago stands with Palestine. I have a question for you on that one because I don't know enough about it. I would have to do a lot more studying before I stood with anybody. I just don't know.
I'm not making a bold, and there's no reason to, like, everybody just wants to be the first person to, I stand with Palestine or I stand with Israel. And
right.
Without doing any research. That's why
they don't know.
There's a lot of celebrities that will post like, an Israeli flag and then get a bunch of backlash from people and take it down, or they'll post like, I stand with Palestine and take it down later because nobody's doing any research. And it's a very complicated situation. It's been a 1,000-year deal going on over there. It's not like it just happened yesterday.
Do you think if America made a move and changed the holiday in their honor and call it Palestine's Day on February 14th?
Yeah, could we?
What do you think? It's one letter.
Although I think that would be a nice gesture.
Not going over big.
I'm not sure that would move the needle too much.
Might not move the needle, you think?
Oh my
that's a nice gesture, though.
Just
happy Palestine's Day.
Yeah, you're getting all of your Palestinian friends like roses and boxes of chocolates.
See?
Yeah, I think I could get behind that. I think
You're thinking clearly
Yeah.
now. That's all I'm saying. I just, but the news, I got up a little earlier this morning, watched the news, and it's all very negative, and it's, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And the president's over in, where is he, in Israel? Is that where he is today?
I believe so.
I think he's in Israel, and I don't know how that's going to go. What I don't understand is, and Tevin, over the years that I've known him, we've talked about this. I do have to mention one other thing. I have to call JB today, John Blackshear, who's been on this show many times, the family show. He was on the KQ Morning Show with me forever. I mean, going all the way back to like 35 years ago or 30 years ago anyway. I have got to get a hold of JB because Ms. Pat, is she coming in today?
No. So she's
okay. Damn it. It wouldn't be as good.
Yeah.
Then.
She's not in town performing. She's got some new like judge show that's on TV. She's everywhere now.
She's a judge?
Yeah, she's playing.
Oh my God.
I've seen the trailers for it and it looks amazing. Like, because everything she does, I just love.
I got a chuckle out of the info sheet that you got.
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
This line really made me like kind of laugh because this is how I know it's going to be good, because Miss Pat is fantastic. But
she is.
While she may not boast a legal degree, Miss Pat possesses the unique ability to deliver candid, humorous, and heartfelt judgment every time.
See?
Yeah.
And that's what you want out of a judge show.
Yeah.
She's
right.
no legal degree, just decisions.
No, yeah, she's essentially she's just like the Black Judge Judy and is going to just make jokes at people. And I'm so excited for her.
You know how wonderful it was for a white man in America today to have a younger black man come to me and ask me to get him out of this? Yeah, Miss Pat's going after me again. Get me out of it.
Like, by far, probably my favorite trip to the Tom Barnard studios was with Miss Pat and watching, because she is a very loud, aggressive Black woman in America. She's like one of my favorite people ever.
Yep.
And then you have JB, who is the complete opposite personality.
Yep.
And when she sees somebody that's like very quiet, and she almost like, well, what's wrong with you? Like, I need to talk to you more and get you to open up. And JB was having none of it. He just sat there silent, very uncomfortable, to the point where I was like, Miss Pat, like, maybe we should just leave JB alone today. Like, let him just be himself.
Did you ever hear what he did to Gilbert Gottfried? Came into podcast. This is many years ago, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Comes into the studio. JB's in on Friday. I think it was on Fridays at that time. And in studio was Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
So we're all sitting there, and Gilbert went after him. Gilbert goes after everybody. It's just what he does,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a year later, Gilbert Gottfried's back in studio. JB comes in with a baseball bat. Oh, okay. He got a baseball bat because Gilbert was such a bruiser anyway.
Right.
Such a huge fella. What was Gilbert? Probably about 5'6", maybe weighed about 130 pounds.
Yeah,
maybe.
that
sounds
soaking wet.
generous.
Yeah,
I think that's
lifts
generous.
in his shoes.
Yeah, maybe he does. He has rocks in his shoes.
Yeah, that's
$110 maybe.
And JB's like big. Like, JB's not like a small.
Oh, yeah, JB's like 6'1", 6'2",
Yeah.
something like that. Very athletic guy.
Yeah.
He comes in with a baseball bat. What do you think? This is old Mississippi?
All right,
What the
that's
hell you
awesome.
got going? Now, that's the part of this job, because people ask me that all the time. What is it about that job? You've been doing it for so long. It's that kind of stuff. To be able to sit here and tell stories about JB bringing in a bat, or JB whining to me that Ms. Pat's picking on him.
Dude, I
The
saw
greatest.
the NWA movie in Arizona with Miss Pat, because it came out.
Was that Northwestern Airlines?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yep,
yeah.
the documentary about Northwestern Airlines. They were a rap group back in the day.
They were.
And she called me at like 9 o'clock in the morning and was like, Tevin, get up. Like, we're going to see the NWA movie. I was like, Miss Pat, like, it's my day off. Like, I don't want to come hang out with you, really. And she's like, nope, get up. Like, forced me to go see this movie. There's a scene where like Easy dies or something. And he says, like, because he died of AIDS. And she goes,
that's
well,
right.
that's like, the movie theater's dead silent. She's just, it's from messing with all those white women. And the middle of the theater, everybody's just dying laughing. We went to some burger restaurant after the movie, and she gets to the front and she's like, all right, I'm going to pay for us or whatever. And she reaches into her bra and pulls out like a bunch of money, hands it to the cashier. And she goes, it's a little wet because it's my titty money. And like,
that's the old neighborhood.
I'm like, are you even a real person right now?
Oh,
Like, just hands her this poor teenager a sweaty $20 bill.
I love that so much. No question about it. Okay, we'll introduce Judd Zolgad from Score North with this little story. But I have to change the first word of the delivery. Okay, you ready? So, who was in studio again from NWA?
Was it probably Ice Cube?
It was Ice Cube, I think. Yeah. So Ice Cube's in studio, and we're sitting there talking to him. You know, you remember NWA, don't you, Judd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
definitely.
Well, I'm going to change that first word because Terry looks at him and says, how long have you been with Triggers with Attitude? I'm like, you didn't actually just say that. Only she didn't say Triggers.
Yep.
If you know what I'm saying. I'm like, So guess who got blamed? Did you hear what Barnard said to Ice Cube? It's like, I didn't say that. Don't be trying to dump that on me. Whatever. When she said, I'm like, did you actually just say that to Ice Cube?
Right. To Ice Cube? Like, if you, like, Terry, if you've seen any of his work, you probably wouldn't say that to Ice Cube.
Great guy, though. Nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nicest guy in the world. And she's dropping the big N on him. Like, what the hell?
Oh, my God.
From Delano, she probably didn't know any better, right?
No.
That's not exactly the culture out there, I wouldn't think.
And I forget, was he in studio or was it a phone interview?
He was in studio at one point and he was on the phone. So I don't remember which one it was.
Because
he might have been on the phone for that.
If it was in studio and he like thought she was actually racist, he would have been out of your studio and into her studio.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Relatively quickly.
I don't think there's any question about it. So, Judd, we've got Houston's up 2-0, not Houston, Texas.
Texas
2-0.
Yep.
Well, they're both from Texas, so that's why I'm so confused. You know,
Texas up 2-0, and the Phillies won their first game against the D-backs last night. So it'll be interesting.
You think to be Texas Philly? Be leaning that way?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely thinking Texas right now because at 2-rip, they're in good shape. Philadelphia, they look to be really, really hot. That's a fun team. They're goofy, but I like them a lot. It's probably not as crazy as the 93 team, but that went to the World Series against the Blue Jays in Philadelphia. But I think it's a pretty interesting collection. So Texas has shocked me though, because do you guys remember when they played the Twins? They played the Twins late in the season. They played them 7 times, and I think the Twins won 5 of the games.
Yeah. Yep.
At Texas's bullpen was just horse bleep. At Texas I thought they were going to be a wild card team, and then for a while they were out of the playoffs altogether. And so I am shocked because they are playing great now. And you know what it shows? Believe it or not, you can score runs in more than one game.
Really?
Against the Houston Astros, Tom. That's allowed. I didn't realize that.
I didn't either. I had no idea that was the case. But so, it looks pretty much like, Philadelphia and Texas are probably the whole season been the 2 best teams in baseball, haven't they?
Well, Atlanta was.
That's true. Atlanta was very hot. You're right. I forgot.
And got knocked out again.
Yep.
Philadelphia was a wild card team because they were behind the Braves. But yes, they've been very good. Texas, again, has just been really up and down. Because that bullpen when they played the Twins was atrocious. Yeah, like they were awful, and I thought that's going to cost them. I said at one point, bring on Texas. If I'm the Twins, I'd love to play Texas. Guess not.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not the best place to be right now, but such is life. I have to remind myself later on today to call Greg Olson out at Bear Path and ridicule him over the fact that Atlanta didn't make it to the World Series. Because remember that Atlanta Twins World Series with Olson, that picture of him upside down is amazing.
First thing that comes to mind.
No,
absolutely it is.
Right? Like that's the first thing is Gladden at home plate and Greg Olson, like you said, upside down at home plate.
And I mean straight upside down. It's not like he's leaning. He is straight upside down. Like, my God, he's got that picture in his office. It's hilarious.
Sadly, that play could not occur now because you can't block the plate. You have to create a path for the guy because it's drives me crazy. I'm not sure about you guys, but that's one thing. Like baseball's done a lot of good things to speed up the game, but that rule, when that was put in, drives me absolutely nuts because that's a great rule for like Babe Ruth, American Legion. It's Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
If the guy wants to bowl over the catcher, let him, and it was put in because of Buster Posey of the Giants, who was really good, who got hurt at home plate. But you know what? If you're going to have one of your best players play catcher, then you're going to take the risk he's going to get run into at home, or you should. And now nobody can define this stupid rule. He was blocking. He didn't give him a clear path. What does that even mean?
So, Judd, I'm leaning heavy on you today because I need your help with this. I have no one to follow for the next 6 months. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Oh, boy. Well, so are you done with the Vikings or you just don't like them now?
It's terrible.
Yeah, but we're come on. We're all shooting for a draft pick, right, Tom Barnard?
Yep. Oh, that's true. Okay, so good. I can root for them for the draft pick.
Yep. Yeah. Root for them to lose. If you want to root for somebody to win, I would suggest either the 49ers or the Dolphins, because the Dolphins head coach might be the most entertaining person in the NFL right now.
You just named two teams that slaughtered our Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. One in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, there's a long list for people that have slaughtered us.
That's true.
Yeah, I got a feeling that, Tom, I'm going to take a stab in the dark here and say I'm going to guess that you are about as far away from being able to be a bandwagon fan as exists. So like that's the unfortunate thing. I'm struggling here because beyond Vikings defeats, like, you're not going to start watching the Timberwolves a lot. I don't think you're going to start to watch hockey a lot. So I would say this: root for a quick winter so spring training comes around again and you can go back to pulling for your Minnesota Twins.
February 5th. Isn't that the day? It starts the day after St. Palestine's Day, doesn't it? We changed the name of the holiday, by the way.
Yeah, it's no longer Valentine's Day.
It's Palestine now. St. Palestine. They're going to be really happy there's a saint in front of their name, I can tell. Maybe I should shut up before they come over here.
I'm bowing out of this one, man.
I'm not talking to you, Tom. Forget it. It's a pleasant, nice thing I'm doing for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's I guess.
Tevin. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Wonderful. Hey, Tom, did I tell you have to leave early?
Yeah, where's Brittany?
Where's Brittany when you need her? What is she in some
pharmacology Tuesday?
Oh, pharmacology, my ass. Would she open up a bottle of aspirin?
Something like that.
Exactly.
I think that's next week. She's learning how to do that.
Oh, that's next week.
Yeah. Hey, you got to take the protection thing off, Tom.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
That's an entire class because those are actually hard to get off of the bottle, and so like if that doesn't come off, then every time you try and dump the aspirin in your hand, it hits one. Like that's a whole thing right there.
I couldn't agree more. No question. Oh, something just popped up that's a little disturbing to me. There has been a shooting overnight in North Minneapolis, and it's about right in front of a very good friend of mine's house. I might have to check on that. Well, he's not only a good friend, he's a relative of mine. So, and the shooting took place right in front of his residence. So it's like, let's check on that during the break, shall we?
Oh yeah.
God, how much longer is the population of this country going to put up with this psychosis in our streets? If people think they can do whatever the hell they want now, it's amazing. Starting to start kicking some ass, don't you think?
Yeah. So there's some people like that's what they are like feel like they need to have happen to them because right, like there was even like I think it was St. Paul, somebody got asked to leave a bar and they came back and shot up the bar.
Yeah,
like
who cares?
People are just being ridiculous.
Yeah, they really are. You've offended me. That's all I know. Anyway, back to sports, and so I will watch the Vikings, even though I think they suck huge. I've never been a Cousins fan. He's got all the ability in the world, but he just cannot win.
I feel like we're back to where he was before O'Connell. Like
Yeah.
last year was such a nice respite. He led
Yep.
at 8 fourth quarter comebacks. They won 11 one-score games. It was very un-Kirk-like in how they produced wins, actually. And now I feel like we're back to the faction of fans that can't stand Kirk, but then of course there's the faction of fans that will defend him at all costs. It's one of the most polarizing things I've ever seen with a player.
Yeah. And I don't think it's really necessarily Kirk's fault. Like, I think Kwesi definitely has not put a good team around him. Like, Lewis Cine, KOC was interviewed and he was asked about Lewis Cine, like, hey, is he going to come back? Is he going to contribute on defense? This was a guy that was, first round pick. And KOC goes, well, I think we're going to see if he can be a gunner on special teams. Like, that's what we're getting out of one of our top draft picks that's supposed to come in and be a, Harrison Smith replacement. Is ridiculous.
It's been, that whole draft has been basically a complete mess. Now, 2023 is much improved. But here's the problem too. And this is not just a Kirk thing. It's an entire team thing. The Chicago Bears, and I know the Vikings were playing without Justin Jefferson on Sunday, but the Chicago Bears are dreadful, and defensively they are awful, and they can't stop. They have the worst defense on third down in the entire league, and the Vikings went 2 for 13. They had 2 second half first downs. Like, I don't know, and this is on Kirk and O'Connell as well, but I don't know how you look that bad offensively, and without that defensive touchdown by Jordan Hicks, they probably lose the game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. No question about it. So we'll just hang in there. So what are they now? They're 4-2 or 2-4. Or what the hell are they?
2-4.
2-4.
They wish they were 4-2.
Yeah,
they would run to the bank with 4-2 at this point. Yeah.
Why is it that Minnesota has the worst weather in America and the worst sports in America? What the hell?
I have no idea. I have the sports thing. It really is like it's become a punchline in some ways, but it really is unbelievable when you think about it. When you think about the lack of like the 4 men's teams, playoff success. I don't know how every team follows the same script. That's what I would love to know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's like we almost got it, but then we didn't.
Yeah, well, it's like the Twins now, and and sure as bleep, Texas is up 2-0 on the Houston team. That in 2 home games, the Twins basically couldn't score a run against.
No,
and Texas is putting up 6 here, 5 there.
I will never forget. I walk in the stadium because I was busy working. I got to the game late on Tuesday. Walk in, they're down 1-0. As I'm putting my ass in the seat, not quite in the seat yet. Now they're down 4-0. Like, let's just go home, Kathryn, because they got no shot. Instead, we stayed with our friends and wept openly.
Well, and the fans were great. That's the thing, though, that's so frustrating is that the fans were just fantastic. Like, it's loud as can be. They're into every pitch. It's just like there should be some reward for that. Not the hopelessness of having your heart ripped out year after year to where you become so numb to it. You're just like, it's not surprising. It's Minnesota sports.
Yeah. On the way out, there was a guy, I would have to guess probably in his early 80s. And he was very upset that the Twins got their ass kicked. And he literally leans over, and I think he was trying to whisper, but it wasn't a whisper. They need more people like Harmon Killebrew. What? Do you even know who Harmon Killebrew is?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you really?
He's got that tasty root beer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He's got the great root beer.
No, I know who Harmon Killebrew is. Are you kidding me?
But honest to God, I know you do.
Yeah,
There's no
killer.
question. But he wanted more Harmon Killebrew and Rod Carew and none of this bullshit. That's what he wanted.
My God.
You Pops. Good for you.
Yeah. How about Herbeck? How about Puckett? If you're going to go back to, how about going back to a vintage where, because Killebrew, if I'm not mistaken, retired after like the 74 season. I didn't see him play.
It was Kansas City, right? Retired.
Yeah,
Kansas City.
God, yeah. Spent 1 year with the Royals. Just Calvin.
I am telling you something, Judd. You will not meet ever in your life a guy as nice as Harmon Killebrew was. Just the nicest guy, sweetheart of a man. He'd do anything for somebody. Great story. I know you got to go, so I'll close with this story. He comes in and he's sitting across the table from me. We're on the air and we're talking. I just love the guy, just a wonderful guy. I said, "What's your favorite baseball story?" And he surprised everybody by going outside the sport to his house. His kids are out in the front lawn. They're playing catch, throwing a baseball in the front lawn, and they're running around and blah, blah, blah. And Harmon's wife comes out and goes, "You kids are going to destroy our grass. Cut it out." And Harmon said, "Honey, we're not raising grass. We're raising children." I love that story.
That's a great story.
Isn't that just the one? It's like, hey, let the kids play a little catch. Calm down.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
don't worry about your lawn so much. That is a fantastic story. Yes.
Well, I worry about my lawn, and if Kathrine doesn't cut it, then I get very upset. You don't want me cutting the lawn. It'd be like, no, you don't need that.
You're a genius. You are a genius. You know why? You purposely did that to prove to her that you shouldn't cut the lawn when you are probably very capable of doing a fine job.
Oh, yeah.
I love that's a great philosophy.
But you know what she did?
No.
Hired a lawn cutter.
Yeah, I was going to say, Katherine's not out there on the lawn.
Good for her.
That's what she did. So there you go.
Good for Kat.
So, joke's on you because I have your credit card and we're hiring somebody to do things.
That is true.
Tom's like, I can cut a straight line now. What are you talking about?
I got it. Judd, we'll talk to you again tomorrow, Pally.
It sounds good, you guys. Thanks a lot.
Have a good day. Judd Zalgad, Score North, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple minutes. Channel 5 Eyewitness News. What's his name again? Christopher Cross. What is it?
Yes, he's going to jump.
Going to jump,
yes.
baby. Does anybody know what you just said?
Probably not, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
AJ got a laugh out of AJ, so I'm good with it.
All right, we'll take a break. Be right back with Chris Eggert, I think his name is, isn't it?
Yeah, let me check the run sheet. Yes, Chris Eggert.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, "I'm a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling, only to gain it right back, of course. After 60 days in Minnesota, the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. Let me assure you that the short 60 days is totally worth it. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself." Great job, Elizabeth. I'm so happy to hear about your success. Are you ready to lose weight and feel better? Go to mnfatloss.com. Schedule a free phone consultation. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you too, by the way. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. Very, very smart idea. You don't have to take time off of work or get a babysitter because of that. You don't need a babysitter for the kids. It's as easy as getting on a quick call with the expert staff. You can share your goals, learn about the program, see if it is a good fit to help you lose weight and feel better. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away. It's another great idea. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story, and please let them know that Tom sent you.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
Could you get Bob to project a little more next time?
We can work on it. We can record that again.
I remember the first time I ever met him, and I went home that night. He called me. I answered the phone. Hey, Tom! I'm like, oh, God, here we go.
Oh, boy.
He can project. I would say that. He can project.
Him? No.
Sandy. Who's better than Sandy? You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You heard me recently speak about the My Slippers, the Giza Sheets, MyPillow 2.0, and more. Great news. The MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths. Regular price is $79.98. And for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That is a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, 8:33, now 27 minutes till 9 o'clock. News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Josh is a good friend, and he'll do a hell of a job for you. I can promise you that. Are you Sid Hartman now? Is that the deal, Chris Eggert?
No, why? Why do you say that?
Because as I was reading the end of the commercial, your mic was on and you went, Bobby Kramer. You know what? We should get. I got to call him. We should get Chad Hartman on the show tomorrow because tomorrow, unfortunately, is the 3rd anniversary of the loss of Sid Hartman.
Is it really?
Died 3 years ago.
3 years already?
My brother died 3 years ago on the 15th of October. They died within 72 hours of one another.
Yeesh.
That was a tough deal, but you know Chad, don't you? You met Chad.
Yeah.
That's a great guy.
We don't hang out, but I've had him on the show before, and great guy. We interact a lot on the Twitter machine. So
the Twitter machine. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that's good. Yeah, so we'll have to have him maybe give us a quick call tomorrow because he's not on until 9, is he? Is he on 9 or at noon? I think he's on noon to 3.
Yeah, he's on the afternoon. So
yeah, that's what I thought. Get him
he's on before DeRusha comes on. So
he's a good man, and by that I mean Chad Hartman.
Megan just ran into him at the emergency room, or my partner in the morning ran into Chad at like the hospital or some random thing last week, which was weird. But
was he having a brain scan?
I'm sure.
Trying to find it.
Her husband was having knee surgery, and her son fell and broke his arm the same day. So the surgery was happening on one floor of Twin Cities Orthopedics, and her son was getting his arm worked on in like another floor. So God, what a mess. And I think that's where she ran into Chad.
I would imagine that'd be a little hard to handle, all the people falling apart right in front of your eyes there.
Yeah, right.
Would not be good. I'd like to talk about the news, but I don't want to.
Fair.
Because I watched the news this morning. Actually, you guys did a good job. I tuned in you guys a little before 7 o'clock. Well, actually between, I guess a little after 6:30 would be a better way to put it. So there's some local things happening. I did not like the fact that shooting you talked about this morning on Thomas and Golden Valley Road.
Yeah.
That house you showed is a relative of mine's house. So
no kidding.
I got to find out what the hell's going on over there.
The police wouldn't tell us exactly what happened, but it's like our photographer can use his own reasoning. He looks at the ground and there's bullet casings littered all in the street. The front window of a car is shot out. And then like the front door of this apartment that was nearby had also been like kicked in or maybe battering rammed in, or we're not really sure. So, but those are just things we saw. I don't think the police have said anything officially about what happened there. So
is this a small penis thing? I have to show you how tough I am because I have such a little wiener. Is that it?
If you ask Freud, isn't that what it's always all about?
That's what I understand. Tough guy, huh? Okay. Whatever you say there, Vienna sausage. So what's happening in your world?
Well, we had a story this morning that we were covering. It's been in the news for several months now. The mayor of Minneapolis, and he's trying to come up with a solution for a third police precinct. The current third precinct got burned down after the George Floyd riots and protests and whatnot, and there's no real consensus about building a new police precinct on the corner where the old one was, right there on Lake Street.
Right.
And so then he suggested combining it with, there's a different building kind of not that far from US Bank Stadium downtown, where they'd moved one of the other police precincts, and they were going to put the third precinct there. That's been a non-starter. And now they're looking at a property that's kind of along Hiawatha, you know where the Caboose is, and 94 and Hiawatha.
Yep.
I love that I'm using the Caboose as a reference point, but
great venue. Great venue.
You just head south there on Hiawatha and before Lake Street, kind of in between 94 and Lake Street, there's a city-owned property there, and he's proposing building something there now. And they're talking about it this morning in one of their committee meetings. And, it also so far doesn't seem to be really going anywhere. I mean, at some point they've got to build a third precinct somewhere, right?
Well, that'd be a perfect place to put it.
I think that's
great. Central.
City-owned property too.
Yeah.
So there's no eminent domain involved. What I thought was interesting is, and this is to me just such a PR thing. It's not going to be called the third precinct.
Oh, don't start now.
What are we saying? It's a safety center.
Oh, Jesus. You see what I mean? I think everybody under 40 should be thrown out of this country. I really do. Get out.
Whoever came up with safety center needs to be fired immediately. It's the third precinct. Like, it's like,
go ahead, Tevin.
No, I was gonna say, it's like the same thing when people go like, well, we're not going to call them the police anymore. It's going to be like, whatever, peace officer. It's the same thing, just a different name. Like, we don't need to be all extra about it.
That makes me think of like safety scissors. Like the first two precincts are like normal scissors. They get the job done. And then the safety center's got the rounded curves. You can only do like construction paper. You can barely cut anything. It's terrible.
Maybe if they make it out of construction paper, AJ, they'd save a lot of money. That's a thought.
I just don't. Why does everything have to change? Explain that to me.
Well, I mean, listen, the third precinct itself, and there's a lot of, you heard from a lot of the neighborhood groups who've been involved in it and businesses on Lake Street that the idea of rebuilding the police station right there is not really going over all that well with some of the people in the neighborhood. I can understand that perspective somewhat, right? And I think the people who run Mama Sheila's House of Soul, Mama Sheila and her husband, he's talking about opening like a Black Heritage Center or something like that in that spot at the where the precinct was. Okay, I mean, I get that if that's what the neighborhood feels they want to do, but to just completely not even call the police precinct and try to come up with some sort of like flowery name for it if it's going to be built somewhere else. I mean, nobody's kidding anybody, right? Like, obviously there's going to be police coming and going from it. It's just kind of funny. I don't know. They seem to be trying really hard to come up with something, and
Well, I got a big fight that I'm in right now because I've been working really, really hard trying to get the hamburger place to drop the white in White Castle, because there's just no reason to have white in there. You know what I mean?
Why can't we have a black castle?
Where's the black castle?
Right.
Where's the red castle? The yellow castle?
Why can't it just be a castle?
Right.
Where's the brown castle?
Yep.
Where are all these castles?
That's my campaign that I'm running on for city council, is taking white out of White Castle.
Get the white out of White Castle. I love that.
I'd vote for you, Tevin. I'm into that. I think
there's one vote down. We just need a couple more.
I don't know what the rest of your platform is, but if you're starting with that, I'm into it.
So I also don't know what the rest of my platform is, but yeah,
you got something.
Yeah.
In the same note, we had a story yesterday. New statistics came out from the BCA, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, that attacks on law enforcement officers, there were 467 in 2019. Jesus. And in 2022, there were 1,062.
Yeah, I saw this.
Why?
It's doubled essentially, or more than doubled since 2019.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you see what the issue is. It's the same reason they don't want to call a police station. We talked to, remember Rich Stanek, the former Hennepin County Sheriff?
Absolutely.
He's a big consultant now and works in law enforcement in the consulting community. I'm sure he's making way more money, and it's probably a much less stressful job than the one he had before.
Mm-hmm.
But we talked to him about what he thinks is seeing, he's like societal issues, illegal guns, mental health, the public's overall dislike of law enforcement, he said, is what's having effect on more people attacking officers and the ability for them to hire officers. A lot. I mean, if you're a new recruit, is that a business you want to go into? Knowing what you're up against. It's not a great situation all around, really.
Has anyone noticed that when you dialed back the police, the violence got much worse? Have they not noticed that part?
Well, and there are people in some of the more crime-plagued neighborhoods who didn't want that.
No, they did not.
Right.
Yes, you're right.
You'll hear it was the people in Kentwood who were wanting to have that, have less police presence. Well, they don't need it there, right? So
it's pain in the ass.
It's the other parts of town that need it, and they're the ones who are suffering. But I don't know. It's always a pendulum, right? I assume, like everything you've seen over the years, that the pendulum will swing back the other way at some point, and maybe they'll be able to find some kind of middle ground.
When's the last time you heard the word hippie? It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I love that word. Toward the end of it, though, was great because it became kind of a dirty word. It's like, oh yeah, hippie.
Yeah. I mean, this probably says a lot about me, but I mumbled hippie under my breath the other day at somebody. I don't know where it was, and I'm like, oh my god, you freaking hippie, whatever it was.
Freaking
Look at this guy driving a Prius. What a hippie.
What a hippie Prius driver.
Very antiquated.
I love that.
But I admit it. I said it.
I love that so much, you hippie. What are you doing now?
Probably some stupid thing like at the grocery store or something where I get the most enraged, like somebody probably stepped in front of me, and I'm like, yeah, you freaking hippie, whatever it was.
Yeah. Some like that's always when it is. It's like some minor inconvenience, and you're like, oh, you just have you're the worst person ever, you hippie, whatever. Right. Insults I'm hurling at somebody.
He was simply in line at Caribou, and the person in front was like, I want a soy matcha latte, whatever. And it's like it took 5 minutes to just order, and he's like, you freaking hippie.
Yeah, I see one pair of Birkenstocks on him, and all of a sudden I've typecast him.
Way to go, Chris. Judgmental.
Hey, listen, one of the best things you can do as a human being and as a journalist is be upfront with your biases, where they're at, and that helps you to be more fair and balanced. So,
are you the most anti-hippie news anchor in the Twin Cities?
Oh, I think he is. I think you're right.
It was just funny that you said that. And I don't know what it was the other day. I was just like, and then after I said it, I like made myself laugh. I'm like, what are you doing? You call the guy freaking hippie.
What the hell? You and Dave Moore. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess so.
I miss Dave, by the way. Dave was one of my favorite people in the world. Great guy. Not that you're not Chris Eggert.
Hey, listen, I'm happy to even be in that same breath. So,
all right, Palomino, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, you guys, have a good rest of your day.
You too. Chris Eggert, ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. So that's a good thing, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that segment.
Yeah, Chris is great.
Anti-hippie, you know.
Yeah, anti-hippie. We got the officer stat story in there, which the fact that they've doubled is insane to me.
I'm just gonna start calling places I don't like safety centers now.
Yep.
Safety centers.
I love that.
Safety. It feels like a place where people go to talk about their feelings. Like,
there
should be
absolutely.
In reality, I think safety center is a good name for a place, but not for a police precinct.
Right.
Like that's like a mental health resource facility or something like that.
And I'm just imagining them like arresting some hardened criminal that just committed like mass murder, and they're like, "Dad, take him down to the safety center."
The safety.
We're gonna have to go downtown to the safety center, you thug.
Yeah, we booked him at the safety center.
Oh, don't do that. Don't call it the safety center.
I think I kind of like it now.
Dirty Harry would have been a much better movie if he took people down to the safety center, not the station.
Wait a minute. How about Elvis? Safety Center Rock? That's not good. Going to the safety center rock. I'm going to the safety center rock. Nah, sorry, doesn't work. We got to take a break. Be right back. Ms. Pat, where the hell is JB when you need him? Damn it. I wish JB were here, but he's not. I'm so happy to welcome back our longtime friend, Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, to the show. I have known Steve, the owner, for many years, and I completely trust Sabre to keep my house comfortable. Why? Sabre does everything the right way, and they always put the customer first. I love the team at Sabre because their service experts are experienced NATE certified technicians. They're not salespeople. Their pricing is completely upfront, and they fix only what needs to be fixed, nothing more. Sabre is dedicated to giving customers what they need, when they need it, and at the fair price, keeping your family safe and comfortable without breaking the bank. Give Sabre Heating and Air Conditioning a try. I know they'll take care of you just like they've taken care of me and my family. Whether you need a new Bryant furnace or air conditioner replaced, or just simply need a service call to get you going again, go to saberheating.com. That's SABRE heating.com. Sabre and Bryant, whatever it takes.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now, stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this, at Bradshaw & Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
We're back. well, me and AJ are back. Tom is lost somewhere in the hallway, but we're going to hit you with some. What does he always say? A little news, a little information.
Little news, little information. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. We're back, and we're going to have Miss Pat on shortly. We've got somebody messaged in. AJ, have you heard this story about how she shot off her nipple?
No, I saw that email from Joe.
Yeah,
and
so Joe,
I was dying to ask both of you.
Oh, we'll have to have her tell it because she's obviously can tell it much, much better. But
Great story.
She essentially shot. I think it's her left nipple off, if I remember.
So you're telling me that there's just like no left nipple on Miss Pat anymore?
She is she's the world's most interesting person. Like the stories, I could listen to her talk all day, every day, and I'm like looking forward to it. She's got this Judge show. She's got, I think it's on BET, like just the Miss Pat show where she's essentially just plays herself and has their own sitcom, which is great. But yeah, have you seen her perform live at all?
I've never seen her live. I've seen her in like movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I mean, she's like a personality that if she's not the main character, she makes like she's the main character no matter what.
Yeah,
like,
whether you like it or not, she's the main character.
No, she's a hoot. I love it.
Yeah.
She is magnificent, no question. Let me know when she's ready to go.
I will let you know as soon as I have her on the line.
You got it, Home Smoke. Home Smoke. What do you think of that action?
So I thought you were going to go with like Home Skillet.
Home Skillet.
Home
That's
Skillet
another
biscuit.
One. We haven't heard that in a long time. But there's a lot in the news this morning, but it's nothing we really want to talk too much about. It's all violence in the Middle East, and everybody hates everybody else, and everybody's horrible, and the Republicans hate the Democrats, and the Democrats hate the Republicans, and Hamas hates this, and the Jews hate that, and it's like, Jesus Christ, is anybody happy?
No, it was all negative. Scrolling through the headlines, it was like Minnesotans captured in Israel, and then it was like I think Ford and a couple Rolls Royce laid off a bunch of people, and then it was more violence in the Middle East. Yeah, not a lot of positivity.
Is this all based? I know it's cultural, obviously, is a big part of it, the culture of both sides. But is this a fight over whose God is right?
I believe it's a religion thing, and then it's kind of also because it started as a religious thing, is now kind of a human rights type of situation going on because the living conditions in Gaza Strip aren't great. And then Israel, obviously having Hamas come in there and murder and rape, but like nobody I feel like is right on either side.
So this is what they think God wants them to do.
Which,
okay.
Right. It's okay. So when you break it down, it's like, really, that's what your religion is telling you to do is go over there. And it's not everybody that's in Palestine thinks that way because there are Palestinians that are like, we don't agree with Hamas, but yeah, it's all just one big mess that I don't think really anybody that's not over there can sort out.
It's so weird, that whole thing though, because any difference now, whether it's religion or skin, I shouldn't say now, I guess it's always been that way, but it's very severe right now. It comes and goes with severity, no question about it, but honest to God, you got the wrong skin color. You got the wrong beliefs. You got the wrong this. And you know what's great about that? Let's say that, okay, I don't like black people, right? That's what I'm going to say right now because you're sitting there.
Somebody's going to cut that.
Yeah, that's true, by the way. They'll be cutting that up. But why would I treat you poorly? I just wouldn't hang around you if I didn't like black people.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that more people need to do is if you don't like somebody,
get it.
You can move on. But it looks like we've got Miss Pat, who everybody likes.
No one likes Miss Pat except for me. I'm the only one, Miss Pat. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you, young lady?
I'm just fine. How are you doing?
Never been. I miss you, though. I haven't seen you in like 3 years now because I'm COVID crap or whatever. You got to come to town, Miss Pat. That's all I'm saying.
I'm coming to town.
Thank God there's a new judge in town. New series, Ms. Pat Settles. It premieres on BET. That would be tomorrow night at 9:00 Central Time. So we want to talk all about that. So you are coming to town because it doesn't say on the descriptor that you are coming. When you coming?
When am I coming to Minnesota? I'm coming this Friday.
What? What? Nobody told me that.
Let me tell you the thing. I'm at the Pantages Theatre.
That's a great theater. You're going to love that theater. Honest God, Miss Pat.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason we gotta reach out to them because I didn't even. I'm really, really happy because all we've been talking about all morning, Miss Pat, because the show's already been on for about an hour, is how you used to come in and terrorize JB. Remember that handsome young devil you used to terrorize when you came to town? It was wonderful.
Yeah. So what you do with him?
What did I do with him?
Yeah, he's still there.
Well,
you scared him off.
You scared him off, but we do. We got everything covered here. But I'm telling you, Miss Pat, one of my favorite things in life is when you and JB were in the same studio, just watching how uncomfortable you made him was, God, it was a joy to watch that. It was just wonderful.
JB used to look at me like he was a white man that wasn't interested in fat women.
I love you. That's all I have to say, sister. That's just JB. So
nah, you ain't my kind.
Yeah, no, you are not my kind. Yeah, there you go. So you are coming to town. Now, where are you going to be this weekend?
Pantages, right?
Oh, that's right. She said the Pantages.
Yeah,
That's right. But who's bringing you?
October the 20th.
When is it? It's the 18th, 19th, or it's the 20th, you said?
It's the 20th. It's the 20th. That's Friday, right?
Yep, that is Friday. That's great to hear that you're coming to town. When you get in here?
I'm getting there early Friday morning. I hear it's very cold there already.
Nah, it's going to be 64 today. It's okay. Don't worry about a thing.
Yeah, 64 is 34 to me.
Okay. Well, I understand that.
The weather here is different.
Now, and seriously, Miss Pat, you just made me very happy because I'm one of those guys that, when I was over at the other radio station for all those years, having comedians come in every Thursday and Friday was just the thrill. I used to love having everybody coming in, and you'd come in a couple times a year. And I hope we can get back to that when people get to town and come in and do the show. And it'd be great to see you.
Well, I can't wait to get to see you again either. And COVID is over. Who's scared of COVID right now?
I know.
COVID is like crap. It's easy to get rid of.
It is. Wait a minute. How would you know that, though?
Oh, I know about crabs. I can tell you about it out there. I've had both. The ones you eat and the ones you beat.
The ones you eat. See, this is it, Ms. Pat. We got to have more Ms. Pat now. That's all I'm saying. So what have you been up to? You've just been working like mad. You're on every TV show now.
Yeah, I've just been working. Got this new show called Miss Pat Settles It. Trying to get out and promote it is very, very funny. It's a Judge Judy meets some crazy. So I would say it's Judge Judy time 10. So it's very funny. It's the real cases, real family, and real funny is what we say. So I'm excited about it.
Now, now, if you don't want to do this, Ms. Pat, I've known you for so many years that you can do whatever you want when you're on with me. But we have a young man on the show that has no idea why one of your nipples is missing.
Well, one of my nipples is missing because somebody shot it off. And I learned real quick, 2 nipples are overrated.
2 nipples are overrated? Okay. Okay.
These lazy kids these days, they don't pick both of them up to use them at the same time like you did back in your young days, Mr. Barnard.
I tried my best, Miss Pat. I did try my best, no question. Now, the young man's name is AJ. So AJ and Miss Pat. Miss Pat, how did you go about, well, not what you go about, but how did it happen that somebody shot you right in the titty?
Yeah, I was a drug dealer, and I was shooting at him, and he had a better aim. I didn't realize my nipple was that big, and you could just get it like that. So they shot my nipple off, so I breastfed from the left.
Did that work for the children?
Yeah, that worked. They didn't even know I had teeth till they grew up. Beyonce made that song To the Left inspired by me.
Oh, God. Miss Pat, I've missed you so much. It's unbelievable. There's no question about it. It's great to hear you're coming to town. When one of these days, though, you got to come in the studio again. I got to look across the table and see you sitting there, Miss Pat.
Oh, no problem. But until I get there, please, everybody, make sure you watch my new show come out October the 20th. October the 18th. I'm drunk. I'm sober to 18.
Well, look, you know what? I hope if you're drunk, you're on the East Coast anyway, because it's 10 o'clock there, so that'd be good.
No, I'm on the West Coast, so it's too early to be drunk.
7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it was a little early. Yes, I would have to agree with that. But no, I don't you think, Miss Pat, do you find, because there are a lot of things you can't joke about anymore, and that's not funny, and oh my God, you don't have a lot of trouble with that because you're a brave person. You've always said whatever you wanted to say.
Oh yeah, I don't care what I joke about. If I can find a funny in it, I'm gonna joke about it.
Yep.
You're not gonna, like I told, you're not gonna come in and control my comedy show. If you don't like it, go home.
I agree 100%.
Go home and relieve your babysitter because she really don't want to keep the kids anyway.
And she's sick of your kids already.
Did you bring that?
She is. So.
Did you bring that same kind of attitude to your like television shows that you're on, where it's, you know, you have a lot of input, or is it something that you had to take more of a backseat to?
No, I have a lot of input on what I do because I tell them I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the art. So, you know, you're not gonna dim my dream, or you're not gonna make me realize what I came here to do. I know what I want to create. Help me create it. Now, you got rules to your networks, and I'm willing to work with you. But you're not just going to turn me into something that I don't want to be for no money. Because, you know, I can go out and, hey, we ain't even got to stand on the corner no more to be a prostitute. You can be a right there on OnlyFans. So, you know, it's ways to get money in this country.
Yeah, you're way above that, though. With your talent, forget about it.
Yeah, but there's also
my feet on OnlyFans and make good money because I don't have pretty feet. And there's some people out there that's really into not pretty feet.
I didn't know that.
I was saying, and you probably corner the market on just the one titty demographic on OnlyFans too. So yeah, there's some options for you on there.
Well, don't play with me because I found a way to make some money. But you know, I'm over at Viacom and BET, so I'm thankful they allow me to create things that I'm happy about and what I got a big input in. When it gets that I can't do it, you know, I'm a comedian. That's the great part about being a comedian. I can always go back to what got me.
You know what I love, Ms. Pat, and you and I have talked about this before, but it was several years ago now. One of the reasons that I love watching you and working with you and all the rest of it is that I was raised by my mother and my two sisters, and all four of you have the exact same attitude, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, life is too short to be letting somebody, kill your dream and, dim your life. So I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm 51 years old. I even pass gas in public now. So you know I don't care.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You're comfortable then.
Yeah, I'm comfortable within my own skin. I've spent over 40 years holding my gas to be for life. I don't care.
Your life is getting better by the minute, sister. That's all I'm saying. There's no question.
Sure is. And the older you get, the less they smell. So they just think I'm burping.
It's a very loud burp.
Some days it is. Some days I got to lift a cheek to burp, but it's burping.
Now, I want to know about Ms. Pat Settles It. What's that all about?
So it's a court show. You know, I went in with this idea to the network, and they said, "Hey, no, don't you be a judge. I mean, won't you be the judge?" And I was like, "I'm a convicted felon." And they was like, "Oh, it's TV. You can be Jesus." So
Jesus is a good name. I like that.
Yeah, so I gave it a try, and I was like, I really like this. But what was crazy is that I had no clue that it was real. So, you know, as people come in crying and, oh, you win the $5,000, I give you an extra $2,000 just to brighten your day. So the producer pulled me to the side. They was like, hey, you're messing up the budget. I said, what budget? They was like, this is real. I said, this is real? When was y'all going to tell me these cases was real?
So what type of cases can we expect to see on the season premiere tomorrow?
All kind of. Well, tomorrow I think it's some. I don't even know what they're airing tomorrow, but it's all types of cases, from roommates to lovers to fighting over hair to fighting over animals to all kinds of cases, and they're all funny because they just let me be me.
Did you say fighting over enemas?
Animals.
Oh, animals. Thank God. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I had to double check with you on that one. It's like fighting over an enema. Not only is she farting on the street, but she's fighting over enemas too. God, I miss you, Miss Pat. I should give you a big hug. You need to get in here so I can give you the big hug.
I will.
All right.
I surely will.
I just think the whole line. So you got a bit. How many TV shows you got now?
I have 2. And another one on the way. I always say they don't let the wrong one in Hollywood now.
No.
I wake up with new ideas. Hey, I want. It's like selling crack. And he'll be like, yeah, give me more, give me more.
Yeah, well, no, I understand that. No, so okay, so the lineup is you got Ms. Pat Settles It, and that's on what channel? That's on
BET. And then the Ms. Pat show is on BET Plus.
BET Plus, and then what's the third show? Where is that?
I can't talk about it yet, but it's comedy.
Oh, okay,
It's a workplace comedy.
See, I almost forgot who I was talking to because I almost just said to you, make sure you call Uncle Tom when you find out. But then I said, no, I bet he meant maybe not say it that way.
So, and you still have your Pat Down podcast too?
I still have my Pat Down podcast. It's doing well. So please, if y'all want to hear some crazy stuff over there, tune into that too.
And what's the name of the podcast?
The Pat Down with Miss Pat.
The Pat Down. Was that from when you were arrested?
Yes, when the police used to pat me down.
Honest to God, you sure you can't stay on the whole day? We'll just, go off at about noon today. That'd be good.
Oh no, I got to jump into another one now.
All right, young lady. All right, my dear. Well, please come in soon. I'd love to see you. Give you a big hug. It's great having you back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Ms. Pat, ladies and gentlemen, there's a new judge in town. New judge series, Ms. Pat Settles It, premieres on BET tomorrow night at 9:00 Central Time. On Ms. Pat Settles It, Ms. Pat assembles a jury comprised of her closest friends, family members, and guest stars to tackle real cases where genuine relationships hang in the balance. What do you think of that?
The fact that she didn't understand that it was real is awesome. Like, yeah, you seem sad. I'll give you an extra $2,000. It's like the person's like, whoa.
And there's people that are like on the losing end of these cases that are probably like finding that out now. And it's just like, wait, are you telling me that I had to pay $800 just because? Like,
right. Well, I'm sure that they know what they're getting themselves into before going on the show. Like, almost makes me want to go get in like a dispute just so I can go be on the show.
You want to sue me?
Yeah. AJ,
we'll sue you. He should sue you.
Yeah,
I like that.
We'll figure it out. We'll make an arrangement.
Oh, my picture disappeared. What did I do? What happened? I didn't touch it even. It just all of a sudden just disappeared. Did I breathe on it? Was that the problem?
I think it was Miss Pat's hilarity that kind of knocked it out.
Isn't she just wonderful?
Amazing.
Just great. Have you ever met her?
No, never in person.
You're gonna love her even more once you meet her.
If she comes in studio, I cannot wait because she is just a doll.
First time I ever had her on, she literally says to me, "Well, I could show you. I could whip out a titty and show you I'm missing one nipple." I'm like, okay. Well, I just met you, but I'm at a different angle here. Now you're staring at the ceiling.
We can always get that taken care of during the next break.
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me one way or another. It's no big deal. I just all of a sudden it just went away though. And who knows why? That's what I'd like to know. There it is.
There we go.
There's Uncle Tommy.
Look at Tevin working his magic.
He finally got off his ass and contributed. What do you think?
I know. It's great to see him do something.
Yeah, it's work. A little bit of work here, a little bit of work there. All works out in the end. See, this is what life should be like. So you get up in the morning and all you hear is negativity. I hate you. No, I hate you more than I hate you. And so you turn off the news, you come in here and you talk to Miss Pat. Change my day.
Yeah. It's like she doesn't care what is going on around her. And it's like I strive to be that comfortable with myself in my everyday life. Like the fact she's just like, I fart in public. Like, what are you gonna say to me? Like she's definitely like very family. She's like you, very family orientated. So she's like the type of person where she's like, I've got my kids that she takes care of. I want to say they all still live with her, like in the same area. So they're still very close. And she's like, again, my favorite human being. And what is wrong with your camera? It just went off again.
It did. Yeah, it shut off again.
I think it's the USB on the side that is.
All right, no big deal.
We'll
fix it. Well, they don't need to look at me while I'm bullshitting.
YouTube audience can just look at, Tevin and I, and that's
plenty.
Besides me, Tevin's really all you need.
That's an eyeful, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Hi, I'm the little white dot with a little gray thing, and then what's supposed to be a human being inside there.
You're doing your best Bob Sansevier impression.
Hey, Tom, how you doing, Tom? Yeah. Sandy, what a piece of work that guy is, isn't he? Unbelievable. Anyway, so yeah, it was really great to have her on again. But I just, how do you guys, because we're of a different generation, how do you guys look at, we were just talking about that earlier. I don't understand. It's like you think one thing and I think something different. I don't think that you're 100% wrong and I should kill you. Why do people get that worked up over differences of opinion?
I don't know.
Anybody know?
No, it's like, it feels like it's just more the trendy thing to do now
but it's very hurtful.
Yeah. It's because people, like to your point earlier, like if you don't like somebody, you're not forced to be around anybody. Like unless you're like at work, I guess would be the closest thing. But yeah, if you're in your everyday life, like if you don't like something, you can isolate yourself from that person.
There were a couple of people over at the old joint, the radio station. I couldn't stand them. There were like 3 of them, something like that.
Yeah.
Cocky little pricks, every one of them. But I just didn't go around them. I don't like you. I don't know you at all, but the way you comport yourself and handle all these things, I think you're a massive pain in the ass and a moron. So I just stayed away from them. Yeah. Why wouldn't you just do that?
Right. Because it takes more energy to now go on some sort of hate campaign against somebody. Like that's why would you want to put yourself through all that negativity? Like there's already enough going on in the world and you want to add to it.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole I got my people I don't want to be around. So guess what? I don't go around them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start. The thing, and Minnesota particularly, from what I understand from the outside, Minnesota loves to punish people they disagree with more than any other place in the United States. They just love to punish people here.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
It's like the cancel culture world that we live in today where like because what was it when Kevin Hart was going to host like the Emmys or something like that,
right?
Everybody like, oh well, he tweeted this 10 years ago, he can't host the Emmys now, and it's tearing down statues and whatever else. Like I don't know, people like to be, they feel like they're vindicated in ways by tearing people down. Like, yep, see, we showed him. It's street justice, I guess. Almost.
So it's street justice because you're a failure, so you want to make everybody else fail too.
Yeah, like
that's
you can't,
what that is.
You can't have nice things because I don't have nice things, and you did something bad.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's really all about. Is you did better than me, so I have to pay you back.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know why people are like that. See, here's what I've never understood about that. Let's say that I don't like AJ. Mm-hmm. I don't care for him. Right. Well, no, I can't go with AJ. You're too young. You guys are both.
No, you can. For the sake of the argument, pretend I'm older.
Okay, let's say you're older, and I decided I don't care for you. I would just stay away from you because I don't. I know now because I've gotten to know you. But at first, if I didn't know you, I don't know if you've got a wife, a husband, you got children, you got this, you got that. No, why would I want to hurt them by hurting you? That's the part I've never understood. Is like, do you morons realize you're not only hurting Tevin or AJ or Tom, and then you haven't done that. I just threw our names out there, but you're hurting everybody in their family too. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, well, and because it's even like gone from like celebrity people to now, if you see somebody that does something on social media or says something racist, people will like find where they work and contact their job, and now people are are getting fired from their accounting firm because the people are like, well, we're tired of getting all this hate mail from random people that have nothing to do with our industry or live out of state, never even heard of us, but because Ron posted something hateful online, now they're coming after him for his job.
That's the whole deal. And was I raised differently? Was I too close to my family? Because that's the first thing I would think of is, well, you know what, this guy's a prick, but maybe he's got a nice wife and kids. So whatever, I'll just stay away from him.
Yeah, and I don't think about that necessarily when you see somebody like you, like, oh, they got fired because they whatever happened, and you're like, you don't think, oh yeah, well now his wife or his kids or whoever is affected by it. You don't take the time to think everything through.
Why do I then? I don't understand why I do that, because I don't know many other people that do that kind of thing.
I don't know, probably just because you're older and you've seen more and experienced more in life. And so that's something where you can kind of take a step back and look at everything as a whole. Whereas people that are younger are going to be a little bit more impulsive.
Well, plus the fact in my neighborhood, the older people in the family took care of the younger people in the family. And it was a great example for me to watch. You know, my older sister, Bobby, well, my brother got back from Vietnam. You know, he was around for a while there. But I had two older sisters that watched over me as well. So maybe that's what it is. I love my family dearly. It's tough going through the kind of deal we went through, but maybe that's why I am so focused on, well, I don't want to hurt this person necessarily because I'm hurting other people that don't deserve to be hurt.
Yeah.
How do we not see that equation? That why do you want to do that to their family? And did they do something so bad it's going to change the earth? I mean, you know what I mean? So I guess if they did something that was really bad, like you can't just let people run through the streets shooting. I guess you can. Never mind. That's the part that I just cannot understand. I don't agree with your politics, so I'm going to try to ruin your life. But if you want to run out in the middle of the street and shoot someone to death, that's okay. What? How the hell did we get here?
Yeah, people's priorities are a little askew.
They're off kilter.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? We have to, oh my God, we do have to take a break. It's 9:17. We'll be right back in a couple minutes.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought, we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so he made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now, stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this, at Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A hell of a first hour, hour and a half. This show's half over already, for Christ's sake. But yeah, really good. Judd was terrific. Chris Eggert came on. Ms. Pat. I mean, you can't do better than that.
No, it's
You know
like
what I mean?
a back to back, just rock star guests.
There's no question about it. From the Star Tribune this morning, where Minnesota's U.S. House members stand on Jim Jordan's bid for Speaker. Republicans are primed to try electing a new House Speaker. It's going to be, in an hour and a half, right? It's 11 o'clock, I think they vote, don't they? Something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Kevin McCarthy was removed from the role earlier this month in an unprecedented decision. I'm going to guess where Minnesota's U.S. House members stand. I'm going to go party line.
I think you might be right about that one.
You think so? It's not too obvious. All right, I'm going to scroll down now and find out. Washington. At least 3 Minnesota Republicans are supporting Ohio Republican U.S. Representative Jim Jordan to become the next House Speaker after the unprecedented removal of Kevin McCarthy from the post. Representatives Brad Finstad and Michelle Fischbach have stated their support for Jordan, a far-right Republican. Is he a far-right Republican? I don't know enough about it.
I don't know enough about it either, but from what I have read and heard, he's going to be, he's not extreme, but in terms of today's scale, people are considering him very far right.
So do you think he is very far right? Because I don't know enough about him.
I don't know either. The few clips I've seen of him, yes, but it's, I'm not as into the political scape as some other people are.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because you're talking about Jim Jordan, correct?
Yeah.
So scrolling through when you look at the headlines for the vote and stuff, almost every website that would be considered an anti-Trump will put Trump-backed Jim Jordan or Trump ally. That's we got to make sure that everybody knows that Trump likes him. So hopefully people that don't like Trump don't like this guy as well. Can we just leave Donald Trump's name off of the headline and just put Jim Jordan? Has nothing to do with Donald Trump.
It's got nothing to do. I've never understood it. This extremism has just got to go away. Like I said, I like Democrats, I like Republicans, but you people on the far right and far left are disgusting.
Yeah.
It has to be my way 100%. It's shut up, for Christ's sake. Somebody should punch you right in the solar plexus.
Could you imagine if that was the penalty in meetings? There's this one guy designated hey, anytime anybody gets a little extreme, we just give them a nice little chop right in the solar plexus.
Right in the solar plexus, baby. All right, so here's the deal. Representatives Brad Finstad and Michelle Fischbach stated their position. A source familiar with House Majority Whip Tom Emmer's decision said he also supports Jordan. We should probably have Tom Emmer's a pretty straight ahead guy. He's a good guy. We should have him on. We should also get Dean Phillips on. See, right there, you'd have one Republican, one Democrat. I like both the guys. I don't know either one of them really well. I've met both of them. Played golf with Tom Emmer once, and Mr. Phillips has been on the family podcast before, so I wouldn't mind having them both on to get their opinion on that kind of stuff. Are they hard? I suppose that politicians are hard to reach out to book on a show, aren't they?
Yeah, you got to get you in touch with their people, and their people will get back to you. And then a lot of times politicians are a little bit more nervous about going because they don't want to go on and be on a gotcha type of.
I'm not going to do that to anybody. I don't do that.
Yeah, they're careful.
No, I mean, if you got some time, you wouldn't mind reaching out to them. I wouldn't mind hearing their opinions on these things. Finstad was first Minnesota Republican to announce his intentions. I know Representative Jordan to be a strong, principled, conservative leader who has a proven record of fighting for the American people, and I'm proud to support him for Speaker of the House. Finstad said in a statement on Friday, it's long past time for our conference to move past our differences as individuals and get back to governing. See, that's what that statement right there works for me. Maybe you should both get off your ass and do your job, because you are serving the people are not serving you. I know you think it's the other way around, that you're a big shot and the people should kiss your ass. Why don't you get off that ass and do your job? How about that? Right?
Yeah, it would be nice.
You think it's ever going to happen?
No.
You know the one guy I really can't stand in this story, and I've never liked him anyway?
Who's that?
It's that puke from Florida. What's his name? Matt Gaetz?
Yeah, that guy.
What an asshole.
That guy is interesting.
You think interesting?
That's the word I'm going to say, because I don't want to be too inflammatory here. But yeah, I've heard some crazy things about him and read some crazy things
like
about
dating 17-year-olds.
Yeah,
that kind of deal.
And then he's still on stuff voting while under investigation. Just crazy.
Yeah.
Really quick on the Jim Jordan thing. Listener Pat writes in. wants us to know that Jim Jordan is a Trump ally who still says that the election was stolen. He falls on the extreme right of the political spectrum. So
right. So would Hillary Clinton, would she be on the far left?
I would imagine so.
Because the only reason I'm bringing that up is she still thinks that her election was rigged.
I mean, if that's the criteria, then yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest with you. If anybody thinks that our elections are 100% clean and clear, you're kidding yourself. Everything is rigged. Right. And I'm not saying it's rigged at the highest level, and that's why he was not elected. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Right.
But there's a lot of cheating going on both sides.
Yeah. Each side pushes the boundary of like, hey, what can we get away with? And then the loser is now upset, and now they're going to go, well, you cheated more than I cheated, so that's why you won.
I wish no one would cheat. That'd be good. Why don't we just count the votes and you shut up? How about that? That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
work
goal
for me. I mean, I just, once again, you look at the two people you got out there. You got President Biden and former President Trump. Would you hang out with either one of them?
Absolutely not.
Of course not.
If they sent me an invite, like to the even to go to the White House, I'd be like, I mean, I'll go, but do I have to talk to you? Like, can I just get the tour and bounce? Like,
one good thing about that is because I did have lunch with Trump that one time when he was the president.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a lot of time to spend with you, so you don't have to worry about it.
No.
I mean, he was very nice to me. He was very pleasant. He was nothing like he is on television.
Yeah, no, it's all a show.
It's all a show. Yeah, it is all a show. So, and I'm not I'm not going to vote for either one of them. I've made that very, very clear. I still don't know who the hell I'm going to vote for. There's got to be somebody.
Yeah, hopefully somebody will, because if it's down to just picking between those two, I would just leave it blank, or I might as well write Mickey Mouse on the top of the ballot.
Aren't they like, well, Trump's already involved in a court case, and Biden's he's involved in the court case too because his son's grifting and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, they're just combing through his emails or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, that's really great. We got two people running for president, and they're both under investigation. That's real nice.
Yeah. Ideal world, I think they both just like, hey, hands up, we gotta
go away.
Yeah,
Right.
and then two new
right.
people. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. It's probably not going to be, and we're going to have another 4 years of just fun conversations.
But I mean, look at that. Look at you got Jim Jordan, supposed to be extremely conservative. I don't know much about him. I mean, I know what he looks like. I've seen him on TV before all the rest of it. But is there anybody who's not nuts that's running for that office?
No, I think
any other office.
No, at this point, it feels like part of the criteria. Like you got to be over 35 and a little bit nuts to run for president.
But why do you have to? Why can't you just be a nice? Although you look back, the presidents in my lifetime, would I have wanted to hang out with it? No, I wouldn't want to hang out with any of them. Well, that's not true. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter's a very nice man.
Yeah.
Not a very good president, but he was a very nice man.
I would have got lunch with Obama.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you really? You'd have to pay him, because he's all about the money. Man, he is all about the money.
He seems like probably now removed from office, more like down to earth. Like, and he's always just seemed so because he's the president, he's been trained in this stuff, but relatable, about as relatable as I can be to the president of the United States. But he kind of comes off with that everyday laid back type of.
Yeah. Like he was filling out NCAA March Madness brackets. Like Obama, like he felt like, and who knows if it was all an act because he wanted to be likable and get ratings up or anything like that. But yeah, he seemed like, quote unquote, one of us.
He's serenading Al Green at a White House press conference because that's like him and Michelle's song or something like that. Or the clip of the guy who, and granted, this might have been staged. It sure doesn't seem like it, but he was voting and this guy walks past like, don't talk to my girl.
Yeah.
And it ends up like he's voting for himself in the election. And the guy's like, didn't know it was Obama. Just thought it was a random guy and telling Obama, "Hey, don't talk to my girlfriend." And then he, just the whole thing about it, just amazing.
Do you think because of my life and the way I grew up and all the rest of it, because I cannot tell you one president I ever liked, not one. They're just not my kind of people. Really, you're the boss? Then I hate you.
Right.
I've noticed that trend while working with you, Tom.
You've kind of seen that come out of me before. Oh, you're in charge? Get the hell away from me then. Now, the only complaint I have about Obama, and it's not about him directly, is why his wife, the day after the election, standing at a microphone saying This is the first time I've ever been proud to be an American. Could you just let it set in for a while?
And it's like, this isn't the first time. Like, you can, like, you're just very happy right now. Like, this might be the proudest moment of your life. Great for you. But yeah, like, this isn't the first time, like, that you've thought America was great.
My gripe with her is that she ruined school lunches.
She did? What'd she do?
She made them way too vegetable happy. Like,
I love that take. That's a good take.
As soon as they got in office, it was a giant health kick, and we're adding 7 things of broccoli, and we can't have this pizza anymore. It's got to be like lower in sauce and not as much cheese and not as much it was terrible.
Let me cause my own death. Leave me alone.
Exactly. Right? And like, looking back at school lunches, like, it's amazing that any of us survived eating the food that it was
some of it was like almost unedible.
Yeah, the pizza was like the best part of our day, and like, it would be probably the worst piece of pizza if you tried to eat a school lunch today.
The elementary school like rectangle pizza back in the day, that was unbelievable. I would still eat that today if you gave it to me. But did you ever have egg bake at your school?
Yes, we had the egg bake. We had like we had pizza sticks.
Imagine pizza sticks were actually kind of good.
Like, it was just mozzarella sticks that you don't like. We literally ate mozzarella sticks for lunch, and they called that a meal.
Okay.
No, the egg bake was awful because it was like a lazy, like, it's a breakfast for lunch type of day. Imagine a yellow sponge soaked in water, and then maybe a little cheese melted on it. It was awful.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Awful.
Yeah, thank God they didn't have, well, they did. I think at St. Joe's in my, I think 6th grade, we had lunch there then, and it was just horrible.
Walk me through, like, in your days in school, what was like an average school lunch? Are they giving out sandwiches?
I only had it for 1 year, and it was always like a piece of a chicken breast and a little mashed potatoes or something. It was that kind of deal.
All right.
But it all tasted like paste. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely, and it wasn't like I was Mr. High Cuisine or anything that, over there. No, I try to be very honest about it. I was never a fan of going to school. I should have been homeschooled, no doubt about it. I should have been. I just didn't care for it.
I loved school. Like, I should
most
like
kids
not
do, yeah.
Not like necessarily the like going to class and like the actual work part of it, but yeah, just being like that social environment I loved going to school every day.
How would you handle it going to school today? Because I could not sit and shut up while they're up there chirping about everything except for math and science. All talking about this political bullshit. I would literally in 3rd grade go, "Hey, can I learn something? That'd be great."
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about your politics. I want to learn something.
Yeah. And like, between that and then just the circus that is all of your other classmates that would just be wilding out in the hallways, like, I would be so annoyed. Like, if today's kids were like, I hate going to school, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that. Like, there's fights all the time. Like, your teachers are going to be, pushing whatever stuff that they're going to push on you. Like, yeah, I could see why kids today wouldn't like school.
And that's why I didn't like it back when I went. I literally would like to tell you there was one teacher I liked, but I never had one.
Really?
I didn't dislike them. I just said, not my kind of people.
See, I had some really good teachers.
Did you really?
Yeah. And I think I had similar to you, Tev, and I liked going to school. Both my parents are teachers, so I got almost like tutoring at home if needed. A sense, like, if I need help with my homework, I have 2 teachers that can like help me after dinner, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, no, I had some really good teachers growing up, and like the Fridley school system I thought was very well like organized.
Well, that's good. So you actually learned something.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, there were some teachers that I would, as soon as you get done with their class or whatever for the year, I'm like, thank God I never have to interact with that person again, just because it was not maybe the personality or the right teaching style for me. But there were some that was like, I want you every single year. Like, you were fantastic.
Yeah. No, Osceola School District, shout out Osceola. They were great. Like, I don't think I had any teachers that I hated, and like I gave them plenty of reasons to not like me.
Well, there is that. That's
oh my gosh.
Part of it.
I remember like being, oh my gosh, in high school we had a TA that was like fresh out of college, and she was very attractive. Shout out Miss Doroff. I think she's married now. But I was like, oh, like I would like flirt with her in class because it made her uncomfortable, and I thought it was hilarious. And so one day I slipped my phone number into her purse because she left it on the counter next to us.
How old are you?
I was probably like 17 years old.
Never too young to be a player.
Right. And I
Oh,
thought it was hilarious. And so she like goes home, finds my phone number with some stupid cheesy like line probably written on it. I get called in the principal's office the next day and they're like, Tevin, you cannot give the teaching assistants your phone number. Like,
good plan.
They're here to learn to become a professional, like a teacher. Like, oh my gosh. Like I'll pull the black card all the time as being the only black kid there. And yeah, teachers, they would play along with it and throw it right
Why?
back.
Because you ruined the school day? Is that?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like if I was sitting next to the light switch, they'd be like, "Hey, can you turn the lights off? We're about to watch a movie." And I'd be like, "Was it because I'm black? Is that why I have to turn the light off?" And they'd like, most of the teachers would look at me and be like, "Yes, it is because you're black. Now please go turn the light off." Like, you know, I can appreciate that. If I'm gonna make a joke, you can make one.
I love that. Now here's an example of why I've never liked teachers. You know, look, my brother-in-law was a teacher, and I adored that man. He was a wonderful guy. But in second grade at St. Joseph's, something happened. I don't even remember what the hell it was. But the nun blamed it on me and said, "Tommy, you did that." And I said, "No, I did not."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yes, you did. I know you did it." And I said, "I didn't do it. I'm telling you." She said, "Well, you're going to sit in that chair until you admit that you did it." I literally sat in the chair for 2 hours. And then I finally said, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. I did it." And I've carried that with me my whole life, that you forced me to lie because you were right and I was wrong, even though you had no idea what the hell you're talking about. That still bothers me all these years later, that she made me lie. I do not like that kind of bullshit. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that what was like, what did they accuse
some
you
kind
of?
of ruckus or something, or something got tipped over, and I did not do it.
Yeah,
but she made me lie just so she'd be right and I'd be wrong.
Jeez.
And that's it. Literally, I hated school after that day forever.
Yeah, I would too. Did you guys get chocolate milk at your school?
You can get a lot of chocolate, but no milk.
That was always, there was I can't remember the name of the school, but it was some like Catholic school that was an elementary school next to ours. And after, I think it stopped in 5th grade. So then in 6th grade, we get all these new kids that would come to our school. And they were always amazed that we're allowed to drink chocolate milk because they only got it on Fridays.
Unbelievable. Oh, you know, one thing I should also add, I was only ever hit by a teacher that was also in 2nd grade, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Come to think of it, this is a tough row to hoe. The only teacher that's ever hit me, her name was Sister Conchita, and she was black. Only person ever hit me in school was one of your relatives.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say whatever reason she had for hitting you was probably justified.
Oh, okay, so she was right and I was wrong. No, you're absolutely
And you're going to sit there until you admit it.
Yeah, until you admit you deserve to be hit. And she used to take the metal razor
for the ruler.
The ruler,
yeah,
wham, right on the knuckle. Those. Oh, did that hurt?
Those stories always just amaze me. Like it was a wild time. The teachers probably were allowed to smoke indoors on like their break, and hitting kids with rulers.
You could hit kids back then. Oh, absolutely.
And like seeing how kids today act, it's like, you know what?
That's a good idea.
Maybe we should bring that rule back.
Let's start hitting kids again.
Yeah.
Well, you might be right though.
Like not all kids. They don't have to hit all kids, but there's some that.
Let's go with all kids.
Yeah, or like because you always see the viral videos of like kids that'll hit their teachers, and it's like I couldn't be a teacher because like if an 18-year-old like came up and like punched me in the face, I'm probably gonna hit him back.
Well, some of the best teachers are the most patient people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very understanding, very patient. I don't know how they do that. And I know they get like 3 months off, and some people probably are sitting there like, well, they get 3 months off in the summer. Like I would love a 3-month vacation.
Right.
Think about what they're going through for the other, the other 9 months. Dealing with some of the,
And a lot of them are like have to buy their own supplies for kids. I've talked to teachers where they're like, I know that XYZ student isn't like eating at home, so I bring him lunches that he can take home and eat. Like there are teachers are doing like the Lord's work, and they don't get enough credit.
The Lord's work.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, and because most of the time they're like parents just hand their kids to the teachers and are like, here, you raise them for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
absolutely.
Well, that happens quite often. Yeah, there's no question about that. So all in all, did you both have a pretty pleasant time in school?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
There are things I didn't like, but
do you have a couple teachers that stood out to you that you like remember that are like those are just the best teachers ever?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I had a history teacher, Miss Krybeck. She was super good. Her husband was my basketball coach, so that's probably why I liked her. as well. But yeah, there's quite a few teachers where there's things that I'll remember for the rest of my life that, yeah, they taught me.
Yeah.
I gave everybody every reason. I had a math teacher that I almost killed on accident. She was like deathly allergic to latex.
Oh,
what? Really?
And I remember I was out in the hall. I went to the bathroom and it was some girl's birthday and she was leaving for the day. And I was like, "Oh, happy birthday." She's like, "Oh yeah, thank you." And she's like, "You want a balloon?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want a balloon." So she gave me a balloon. I brought it back into the classroom, just like, "Oh, hey guys, freaking Susie gave me a balloon." And the teacher stood there like up against the wall, like, "You need to get that out of here right now and go wash your hands," because I'm like death. So yeah, almost killed her. She ended up kicking me out one day because I was being obnoxious. So she was like, "Take your desk and put it in the hallway." And outside of her door, there were some stairs that like went up to kind of the second level. So I was like, "I'm gonna put my desk right at the top of the stairs," and so I was in the way of everybody. And so she comes out and she's like, "Tevin, like, if this is really like this is what you're gonna do, I need you to put your desk now up against the window so I can see you from like inside." So now I'm sitting up against the window, and I thought, again, it'd be very funny to write "Miss Haas hates black people" on my notebook, and I just stuck it up in the window. The whole class busts out laughing. She didn't like it. She didn't think it was funny, and then I earned myself a trip to the principal's office. But
so how'd that go?
That's showbiz, baby.
That's
not all the
showbiz,
jokes,
baby.
Not all the jokes work out.
Nah, I suppose not. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, ladies and gentlemen? There's a big article today. You guys brought this up earlier on the show. There's a big article today in the Star Tribune. Jim Souhan, since becoming GM, Adolfo Mensa has failed to improve the Vikings. You guys brought that up early this morning.
Yes.
There's a big article about it in the Star Tribune this morning. So do you think it's bad enough that we need to take a gander at maybe replacing him?
Yeah, I think that this year in the offseason, if we don't come up with a solution at quarterback or a potential solution, or we don't, if we keep winning games, we're not going to be high enough to take a quarterback. But I think next year, if we don't get some people that have immediate impact, I think that next year could potentially be his last year.
That'd be it. Just wrap it up. No, I suppose. I don't know. It's hard to watch them. They're not very good.
Yeah, and when he came in, Kwesi was talking about how he wanted it not a full down tear down rebuild.
Right.
It's not often that you see those like fully come to fruition and you have the Super Bowl at the end of the rainbow. The Vikings, when he came in, had the pieces to where you can do a competitive rebuild where they're kind of mixing and matching and restructuring almost. And I don't know that he has maybe hit on as many draft picks as he should have. And I don't think that like at the time I was a big fan of the Hawkinson trade last season. And even, on the initial re-signing of him, an extension earlier this year, but there's been a couple instances where it's just like, you are the highest paid tight end. I need you to make that catch in this moment. I don't need you to make everyone, but like eventually some of these have to be caught. So yeah, it's just, and then, right now you still don't have Justin Jefferson re-signed, and we know he's hurt now, but you could have wrapped that up earlier this season.
Right.
And, once he's back and ready to healthy to go, will he come back? He might have his agent and his family in his ear saying, we don't have that contract and we're already almost kind of out of the playoffs. So why come back? And then they're going to keep driving up the price, and then it becomes that holdout that no Vikings fan wants to deal with. So I wouldn't say he's like right at the door of we need to get it going right now. But like you said, Tevin, maybe give him the off season into next season, in my opinion. And if there's really no noticeable improvements, that's when you start thinking about it.
Yeah. And I was handed a graphic that for like the net win probability through weeks 1 through 6, and they're kind of basing it off of like dropped interceptions, dropped passes, field goals, fumbles, and stuff like that. So the number one team in the league for their win probability was the Chargers with 166%, and then it kind of goes down from there. The last team on the list is the Minnesota Vikings. Negative 133% chance of winning their games this year, according to this chart. So our net win probability was negative 133%. Hard to win games when you're constantly just have your hands around your.
So how many wins does that come to? Like 3?
Yeah, I mean, it's just showing like over the course of the first 6 games. Based off drop passes, dropped interceptions, and things like that.
Fumbles.
Yeah, it's just saying that we've had more than negative or whatever, negative 133%
Like
chance.
they've done more to affect their outcome
negatively than we
yes.
have positively. Yes.
Yeah.
We're essentially just shooting ourselves in the foot constantly.
Better than any other team, though.
Yeah. Oh, and like the next
Yeah.
the next
Hang the
closest
banner.
the next closest is negative 88%. So we almost doubled up everybody.
Oh God. I gotta be honest with you though. I have never seen so many very catchable passes dropped like I have, and that's across the NFL this year. I don't know what the hell's going on. Why are so many people dropping passes now?
Well, that in the turf, these fields that have turf.
Yeah.
Tevin, you probably can speak on this more than I can knowledgeably, but from what I understand, every NFL player is like, why are we not playing on grass every
Right.
single week?
Right.
Yeah.
Because the turf, every like major like Achilles or ankle and whatnot, just like non-contact is happening on turf.
Mhm.
And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You can facilitate grass fields for the 8 to 9 home games you play every year, right?
Yeah.
Why are we not doing that?
Yeah, I think they should be playing on natural grass. And like, even if, because you can get injured, I mean, on any surface, but even just the feeling of after a practice or a game, like your joints don't hurt as much because the grass is a little bit softer for like, you know, impact on your joints and stuff like that. So I get it for indoor stadiums. It sucks. And turf has come a long way. Like at NDSU, we had the like Astro turf back in the day.
That stuff was
for a while.
terrible.
Oh my!
Like the Metrodome style?
Yeah, where it was like playing on it was like a thin carpet over concrete and
hard concrete.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
And so like they finally upgraded to like the whatever normal field turf with the black pellets in it, which still sucks to play on and you fall, it hurts. But yeah, I mean, natural grass should be the way to go
because you can grow grass indoors now, right?
Yeah,
Probably
and I mean
spendy,
Arizona even they have where the whole field literally slides outside so it can get grass and rain and then comes back inside.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a great idea.
And I'm sure there's you can get a turf company that can keep your grass alive for a couple weeks indoors.
Well, I mean you can open the whole the whole west side of the US Bank Stadium.
Yeah,
you can open up that whole side, can't you?
Yeah,
I don't know if that would be enough to get like the proper amount of sunlight.
Yeah, probably not.
And there's enough glass in the ceiling where you could probably get the greenhouse effect a little bit. But I mean, there's much smarter people than me that that can
you just
figure
stop
out
right there.
how to sod.
There's much smarter
field.
people than me.
Not just on that one topic.
No,
just
all topics. all
in
topics.
general.
Yes.
Yeah, I tell you, honest to God, I was invited to go out and just warm up with the Twins one thing. Gave me a uniform to wear and everything.
92 on the back?
Maybe. But I could not believe when that ball, because there was a single hit in front of me. I could not believe how high that ball bounced. It's like, Jesus, because it was what you were talking about, that very thin turf over really hard concrete.
Yeah.
It was something else.
And because then the worst, because there's a baseball, I would hate to have to like now make a diving catch.
Oh God!
And you just get up and all of the skin is missing from it's the worst. And you got to try and shower after the game and it burns. No, I'm out.
Well, my favorite thing was back when the Raiders were at the Oakland Coliseum, and then they would just be like making tackles in the infield.
Yeah, in the infield. Yeah. Yes, right.
A 13-yard rush ends with scraped elbows because you got into the second base area.
Right.
Like,
you're essentially playing tackle football on like a gravel road.
By the way, you can stop sending in the messages, Tom. You would have never gonna make that play anyway, so shut up. Okay, don't worry about my feelings.
I need you to start saying nice things about the Vikings because my goal is to have you sound the Galler horn before the game. So you've done the first pitch and
I've never done the Galler horn deal.
No, that's what I'm saying. We need to say nice things about the Vikings so they'll invite us.
So we can all do it.
Yeah, it's selfish because I want to go up there as well.
I was going to say, that sounds like a great pitch for us to just go to a Vikings game.
All about you. We got to take a break. Be right back. I got to recover from that for a few minutes. Right back.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
It's Tom Barnard for Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. I'm happy to say I purchased an EV Mustang from Flagship and have friends and coworkers who bought new vehicles and used ones from this family-run dealership that's just 20 minutes west of the metro in Baldwin. Whether you want to compare their used car specials, claim Ford financing options, or simply book an oil change or tire rotation, they have you covered at Flagship Ford. New vehicles like the Ford Escape, the Edge, or F-150 pickups with special engine options. Flagship Ford can answer all your questions on your next new vehicle. The month of October is Tire Month at Flagship Ford. Fit your tires for your specific vehicle, any model car, truck, or SUV, and get your tires before the snow flies, just $5 over cost. That's a purchase of 4 new tires with a $70 rebate gift card on top of the $5 over cost on most brands of tires. Flagship Ford, east of the Metro in Baldwin, Wisconsin, and online at flagshipford.com. That's flagshipford.com.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is National Pasta Day. Anybody in the building that doesn't like pasta?
Who doesn't like
I was
pasta?
I'll say anybody that doesn't like pasta,
get out.
Red flag.
I agree. Just get the hell out of the building. No question about it. It is National Pasta Day, but for 1 in 20 people, that's every day. 5% of Americans say they eat pasta every day. I don't know, it's a little extreme.
Yeah, that's
but
excessive.
Might be okay to mix in, something else.
Maybe a salad once in a while.
Maybe a cheeseburger. Maybe.
Cheeseburger. So what's your favorite pasta shape? I don't have a favorite pasta shape. I like all pasta. I really do. The little shells, you got the spaghetti, you got the, I like it all.
Yeah.
Spaghetti is number 1 with 33% of the vote, followed by penne and macaroni.
Okay.
A few national chains have pasta deals, nothing too crazy, but today.com did a roundup if you want to check it out. They went with the excellent headline, 8-day pasta deals to save a penne or two. Get it? A penne or two. I just ate at an Italian restaurant last night, Baccio, out there at Ridgedale. Phenomenal.
What'd you order?
I had tagliatelle. It was fantastic. Really, really good.
You had a what?
Tagliatelle.
What is that?
It's a kind of a pasta.
Like a red sauce?
It's kind of like the two. Yes, it's a red sauce.
Like
yes.
You're speaking a foreign language right
Devin,
now.
I'm going to be honest with you. I just kind of nodded and was like, yeah, that sounds
right.
good.
I was like, he's going to ask me a follow-up question. I have no idea what
I'm going to look it up later.
What are the long tubes that...
Rigatoni?
Yeah, so I had rigatoni. There you go.
There we go.
I had a form of rigatoni. That's a good way to put it. That's exactly right. But it's tagliatelle. But other than that, so they have 8-day pasta deals to save a penne or two. A few more of stats on pasta eating habits. What's your favorite pasta shape? Spaghetti is number 1, as we said. Penne number 2, macaroni number 3, and tortellini is number 4. But by far, spaghetti is number 1. What's the best pasta shape specifically for mac and cheese? I would have to say those little elbow macaroni.
Elbow has to be.
Elbow has to be elbow, right?
Yeah.
I would agree. Macaroni got the most votes, but 12% prefer shells. 7% prefer corkscrews. I like corkscrews. They hold on to the sauce nicely. 6% said bow tie pasta. 5% like penne, and 5% thinks rotini is best. So macaroni Mac and cheese. So macaroni is that's the elbow pasta, right? Macaroni.
Maybe that's the name of the noodle, because I thought it was like macaroni was the dish.
That's what I always thought too.
The macaroni. I think it's both. Like the name of
it
the
is
noodle.
both.
Okay, all right, that makes more sense.
I would imagine you're probably right. Your favorite sauce, Alfredo, pesto, or spaghetti sauce? By far, spaghetti sauce for me.
Yeah, just like a nice marinara, carbonara type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go Alfredo sauce.
Really? You like it better than?
I love Alfredo.
I can't have that every time though. It's
too
rich.
No,
it is very rich. What do you think of that? It's too rich.
Yeah, but it's so good though.
It is really good.
Like I'm sorry, I would drink Alfredo sauce if you had a glass of it in front of me.
God. 52% said spaghetti sauce, 44% said Alfredo, just 4% said pesto is the number one. Pesto's the one's got the
pine nuts.
The pine nuts in it. And
it's more green, right?
Yep, yeah,
it's green. Yeah,
it's like olive oil, pine nuts, and like the pesto. It's pesto. If you have a good pesto pasta, that's phenomenal.
It is good. 93% of Americans always have at least one box or bag of pasta in the house. One. I got it in every room. I could eat pasta every day. I could.
Because it's just, I mean, it goes without saying, Italian food is just amazing. Like you
love Italian,
and you get the garlic bread or something on the side. Like, we're doing it big.
Lasagna, man. They didn't even mention lasagna.
Well, what's the lasagna? What's not the Gidio? What's the lasagna place that you always go to
in town here?
Yeah, it's not. I want to say like Digidio's.
Where is it? Well, Digidio's used to be a place.
It's over in. There's one in the Golden Valley area on what's the Highway 55.
There was one right.
Dang it! It was something. You used to bring it into studio.
I did, really?
Yeah. People would drop it off. Dang it. This is going to make.
We'll
keep going. I'm going to figure
If you're out there listening, come by and drop off some more.
Yeah, drop off some spaghetti. Now we're talking. 21% of us use a fork and a spoon to eat spaghetti. I do not. I only use the fork. I don't need the spoon.
A spoon?
I don't need it. The spoon is for twirling. No, I can twirl it on the plate.
I only twirl on the dance floor.
There you go. When you make spaghetti, do you usually break it in half? 50% of us do, mostly because it's easier to fit in the pot. 38% don't. 4% said it varies, and 8% said they never make spaghetti. How can you never make spaghetti? How can you not like spaghetti?
I'll say spaghetti is like my least favorite pasta, I think.
Whoa, really?
I think because it's just so like it's just basic. Like it's
a classic.
Yeah, but it's just like I mean, there's nothing wrong with spaghetti. Like it's good. But if I was like, hey, we're making pasta, spaghetti would probably be the last one that on my list.
So you're that lazy.
What do you mean?
I think that means he's not as lazy, because if you're I feel like like spaghetti is just the noodles, and then you get like a red sauce, and then it's like boom, you're done. But if you're going with like tortellini Alfredo type thing, you got to do more with it.
Yeah, like and whatever, spaghetti is great. Like, and I also never
You're not
go
talking about the noodle. You're talking about the dish with the
dish
tomato
with
sauce.
Oh,
that's what
I'm
I'm just
saying.
talking about the noodle.
Oh no, I have nothing against the noodle. All the noodles, whatever, taste the same.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
No, and also I always go a homemade sauce over a canned sauce. Like I'll take, I'll take the time to like make my actual.
Some
sauce.
of it's good though. Rayo's does make really good bottled sauce. They do. Well, a lot of them do actually. It's very good stuff. When you make spaghetti, do you usually break it in half? We said about 50% of us do. And finally, only 3% of us never eat pasta. 75% have it at least once a week. We'd be in that 75 because we have it at least once a week.
D'Amico and Sons.
That's D'Amico. That's what you're talking about.
One, yeah,
oh yeah, D'Amico. Larry's a great guy.
Yeah, like the best restaurant lasagna I think I've ever had.
It's really good. Yeah, they have. I tell you, man, and it was so obvious that back in the day, let's say 40 years ago, there were about 2 good Italian restaurants to eat at in the entire state of Minnesota. Now there's one like every block.
Yeah, you can't drive into work without driving by one.
I love Italian food. That works for me. Like I said, went to Baccio last night, had a wonderful time. Natalie was our server. She did a great job. And then when I'm leaving, I said, "Are you the manager?" And they always kind of step back when you ask them that because everybody just bitches at the manager.
Yep.
So no, it's not that. I just want to tell you, Natalie did a great job and the food was wonderful.
Yeah.
So she was like, come back soon.
Oh my God. Well, because of the service industry, you get so many different people that are just miserable to serve that, yeah, it's probably a breath of fresh air. Like, wait, you're saying something nice to us? Like, I'm usually only called over.
She was shocked.
Usually only called over when somebody wants to cuss me out.
So you're complimenting us on our dishes? I said, yes, that's why I came over. I'm not the kind of guy that would come unless it was really bad, bad. If I just didn't like it, I wouldn't complain about it. I just would never go there again.
Right. Or like, and I'm the type of person too, where if I ordered something like a pasta dish, I was like, oh, can I get that with no mushrooms? And they still put mushrooms in it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to eat around it and I'm not going to send it back and cause a big
scene. Do you like the little mushrooms and not the big ones?
I mean, if they're small enough and I'm a kind of a texture person. I don't like the slimy, mushy mushroom texture.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
I'm just not a big fan.
Mushrooms have to be done right or they're not as good. You're absolutely right. See you later, AJ. Yep. Andy's coming in, of course, for the 10 o'clock hour. AJ on his way to sleep for about 12 straight hours. It's all he ever does is sleep. You know what I mean?
Can't break up his nap time.
Well, I thought for sure he'd poke his head in and give me the finger, but he didn't.
Probably racing off to Score North.
I'm sure that's exactly what he's doing. What's up, Andrew? Anything good?
Nothing in particular. Just recovering.
So you're recovering. So you feel better today than you did yesterday?
I think so.
Well, there you go. So that's good news. As long as you get better every day, little by little. Now that's interesting. You bring that up because this headline from today, 2/3 of us won't see a doctor until something is extremely wrong. That's not you, though.
That is not me.
You like that, Kevin?
I mean, I'll say more or less. Like, if it's something that I feel like I can just power through, like I don't get like a cold and go to the doctor.
No, right. But, I understand that. Right. If your toe was hurting for a few weeks, would you see a doctor?
Oh, yeah. A few weeks. Yeah.
A few weeks suggests something wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. Yes. It didn't go away. A new poll found that 2,000 Americans found 2/3 of us wouldn't go to the doctor until something was extremely wrong. Until then, we'll wait it out. That includes 59% of women and 72% of men. One reason we don't go is it seems like you never know how much you'll end up paying, even with insurance. But money isn't the only reason we avoid doctors. It is, I will tell you, incredibly expensive now.
Sure is.
So I just don't understand.
I would know.
Oh God, yeah, you've been shelling out, but you're fully covered, aren't you?
Well, yeah, once you hit your deductible.
How much is your deductible?
That
$50,000 a week.
It's like $5,000 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's still a pretty big number, I would think. I mean, I say that because I think the average salary in the state of Minnesota is like $57,000 a year. So you're almost kicking in 10% of your yearly income.
Well, more than 10% after taxes.
Well, yes, after taxes.
57,000, I think, is gross, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. You're absolutely right.
So
it is gross. So it'd be like 20 times more probably. Money is not the only reason we avoid doctors. The top things we hate about doctor visits include sitting in the waiting room. It takes time in general. Being touched or examined. I don't care about any of this.
I know. It seems like it's like I'm not going to go to the doctor because I don't want to sit in the waiting room.
Or he'll touch me.
It's a very weird problem to have.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Shots, other procedures might be painful and just general fear and anxiety. I don't have any of that.
No, I have zero fear of the doctor.
Oh,
Never
I
have.
hate shots.
Well, I don't like
really?
shots.
I hate shots.
Doesn't bother me in the least.
I don't like shots, but I mean, I've had so many and so many IVs put in me that at this point, it's just like whatever.
Do you think I'm insensitive as though that doesn't bother me?
Could be.
Oh, you both
Sure,
just
I don't
jumped
know.
right on. Okay. No, okay, don't worry about my feelings. Because of all that, only 34% of us, have seen a doctor or had a checkup in the past year. 39% have seen a dentist. So 61% of people don't go to the dentist. That's interesting.
That's gross.
Yeah. And he goes right with that's gross.
Yeah, and well, I think because like just in insurance in general, like dental insurance is a lot more expensive.
Mhm.
Dental insurance, I don't think I have ever had in my life.
Yeah, and so people are like,
No,
"Oh, I don't want to go
it's tough
spend
to
all
get.
that money."
I think it's very expensive to have
Mhm.
dental insurance.
Yeah,
I
but it's
think.
more expensive to have all your teeth removed when you're 50 years old because they're
Well,
all
that's
rotting
true.
out. So there's that.
Oh God, I ran into a guy yesterday. He was wearing his Viking hat and his Viking jacket, and I won't say where it was because the guy needs his privacy. So whatever. But I walked up to a counter. Let me put it that way. And he opened his mouth. I think maybe he had 3 teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was one like right here, and one right here, and then the other one was like right over here. How are you doing today? How's everything going? I was going to say, well, I assumed you'd be drunk by now, but no, I don't know if he's a drinker or not. But yeah, sir, you're going to die if the poison in your teeth kicks into high gear and kill you.
It can happen.
Oh, it can definitely happen. Rotting teeth can kill people. There's no doubt about that. Be very, very careful about that stuff. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but maybe you guys would know what this is all about. Here's why you should make your phone screen black and white. I have not read this yet, so do you know why they would say that?
Black and white.
I have no idea.
Make your phone screen black and white. Yeah.
I mean, I know that can save a lot of battery.
Oh, is that what it is? The color takes up a lot of battery, I suppose. I suppose that's right. Want to curb your raging addiction to your phone? Well, I don't have one, so I'm good to go. I literally, to tell you the truth, the day that I retire in a few years or whatever, I probably won't even have a phone anymore.
Just throw it in the ocean and go about your business.
I'd get it like a beeper. Do they still sell beepers?
Do they? I'm assuming they do.
Do you think they do? Because if Kathryn or the kids need to get a hold of me, just beep me.
Yeah.
And I'll go over it. Oh, that's right. There are no phone booths anymore, so never mind.
No.
I can't do
Phone
that
booths,
either.
I don't think exist at all anymore.
I haven't seen one in years.
Pagers, yes, still exist. Public safety and healthcare is like where they exist still.
Okay, see, I should get a pager.
I don't really know why. Are they more reliable than a phone, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. You might be right about that.
Yeah, well, I guess too, if you're in if you're a nurse, they don't want you on your phone.
That's true.
And, like they're very dirty, and you probably
That is
spread
true.
A lot of contamination.
In healthcare, they probably have you have to sterilize your pager on a daily basis.
Yeah, probably true. You want to curb your raging addiction to your phone? Just have it channel I Love Lucy, a former design ethicist from Google.
Design ethicist.
That's what it's a
It's a very
design
fake
ethicist.
sounding job.
It really is a design ethicist.
To go to school for that?
Yeah, you're right about that. In any case, the guy from Google named Kristyn Harris says if you make your phone screen all black and white instead of the millions of colors you have now, it can help you break your addiction to your phone.
I can see that where it's less visually appealing.
That is true.
Then you're less likely to sit and scroll.
I don't know. My first computer was 4 colors, all of them gray, and I still spent a lot of time on that thing.
Yeah, you surely did. That was 1998.
No, it was well before that.
Oh, was it really?
The Mac Classic.
Oh, the Mac Classic.
Yeah, the Mac Classic 2. I'm pretty sure Mom got that when I was maybe 3.
So 1989.
Let's see. Mac Classic 2 came out in 91. So I would have been 4 years old when she got it. So there you go.
Did you steal it from her all the time?
I used to get on it and mess with it.
I knew you did.
Mm-hmm.
Did she get mad at you?
Yeah, I still remember she had a program installed on it called MYOB, which stood for Mind Your Own Business. And it basically made it so you can't mess with other people's crap.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
No question about it.
Yeah, 16 megahertz processor, 4 colors, and it only cost $4,000 equivalent dollars today.
Right. Yeah, $4,000.
$4,000 in today's money. 2 megabytes of RAM. It weighed 16 pounds, despite having a 9-inch display.
This is a mobile phone.
No, it's a computer.
A computer. I was going to say, holy Christ, we moved on to an area that was a little weird.
Well, I mean, the first mobile phones were probably at least 3 or 4 pounds.
Oh, absolutely. They were the size of a brick.
Right. Yeah, they weren't fitting in your pocket.
I remember somebody from the queue used my car to go to Byerly's.
Mm-hmm.
Put the top down, left it down, and somebody stole my phone from the car.
Mm-hmm.
So he chased them down, and the guy threw my phone out the window. Didn't even scratch it.
Yep.
I mean, that thing was just, encased.
The first commercially available cell phone was the Motorola Dynatac, which was 2.5 pounds and lasted 30 minutes.
30 minutes. That's right. Yep.
Not even enough to finish your conversation.
No, seriously.
That's very true. So that had to have been, what, about 35 years ago?
Let's see. When was the Dynatac
That's
released?
a long time ago.
84. So 40 years ago.
Before you even born.
Yep.
God, that's amazing.
I mean, it cost $4,000 in 1984. So I don't think
$4,000 for a phone.
Yeah.
$4,000.
Well, I'm assuming it was for like stockbrokers or people who like absolutely.
Oh, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right about
And
that.
it's huge. Like I'm looking at photos of it.
9
The
inches
thing's-
tall. Yep.
Yeah, the thing's like the size of your face.
It was 9 inches tall. Yes, exactly. I remember that thing, and it did weigh. It felt like it weighed more than 2.5 pounds. It felt like it was about 5 pounds.
I wonder if they have any on eBay.
They
Let's
might.
see here.
You could buy it for $5 probably.
Dynatac.
Oh, no,
yeah.
They're probably expensive because it's not considered like a collector's
Yeah, maybe.
item.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get some. Here's one with a case. $500. Buy it now.
Really? They bought it for $4,000. You can buy it for $500.
It's not a good investment.
No, it's not a good investment. I got to be honest with you.
I wonder if they still work. Probably not.
You mean pick up a signal?
Yeah.
Probably
I'm
not.
guessing
You're probably right.
whatever signal they use isn't around anymore.
So as they say, instead of the millions of colors you have now, it can help you break your addiction. All those colors are positive reinforcements that keep you scrolling and tapping. By going grayscale, you don't have as much of an urge to use your phone. And it's easy to set your phone to black and white. Both iPhone and Android have settings that let you easily shut off the color.
That is true.
Lots of people have tried this, and some say it works, some say it doesn't, but it's worth a shot, right? Well, not for me, because I avoid my phone at all costs. If I can avoid my phone, I will do it.
And most of what I do on my phone is just reading text anyway. So it's black text on a white background already.
Yeah.
So
true.
I don't know.
I just there are some people that love to be on the phone. I am not. I do not like to be on the phone more than a couple of minutes.
I just like to always be reading something
on the phone.
Well, I use my phone to look things up. I've done more research into the gastrointestinal system than most doctors have.
Yeah, I suppose. This might be an interesting story. We got Kristyn Burt coming up in just a couple of minutes, but the headline alone, what do you find disgusting, even though everyone else thinks it's normal? Can you think of anything you think's disgusting and everybody else thinks that's normal?
I can think of something for Melissa.
What was that?
Cilantro.
She
hates cilantro.
Oh, yeah. Some people think it tastes like soap.
No, she doesn't have that. She just hates it.
Really?
Just the taste of cilantro. She says it doesn't taste like soap. It just, the taste of cilantro is gross.
I just don't.
I'm not a huge fan of cilantro.
I don't even remember what it tastes like, to tell you the truth.
It's very strong,
strong?
extremely strong flavor.
There's a list online of things that people find disgusting, and even though everyone else finds it normal, yes, kids was mentioned multiple times by people who don't have kids. They're disgusted by kids.
Kids are disgusting.
Wow, they're wonderful.
To be honest.
Hey, listen, if you could have been out at Seavers on the weekend, you'd have loved watching your son.
You weren't the one wiping his nose, though.
Right. I think that's more probably the angle people are going with.
Why don't we go with the angle that he was holding my right hand the entire time he was there?
He likes to hold hands.
He does love to hold hands.
I'll go up to you and say hand.
Oh, he loves tractors. My God,
Yes, he
loves
does.
tractors.
He really loves tractors.
How would he even know about tractors?
We live out in farm country. We see tractors all the time.
Oh, I suppose, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
He likes tractors. He likes trucks. He likes cars. Any sort of vehicle.
He likes vehicles.
Very mechanically minded.
Okay, here we go. These are the things that some people do and some people find disgusting. People's breath being in your face, any breath, bad and good. But yeah, I don't want your breath in my face.
No.
I agree with that. Yes. A dirty dishwater to the point where you can't handle touching it. Well, why wouldn't you just drain the dishwater and put clean water in there?
Yeah, when I do dishes, I don't fill the sink up and scrub it like a 1800s
You rinse
saloon
it.
manager. Yeah,
Right.
you just wash it off with. You have running water these days. You use it.
Exactly. Hearing someone with a heavy, productive cough, not a dry cough, long fake nails. Who cares about this stuff? People who spit on the sidewalk or out in public.
Oh, God, I hate that.
Keeping your shoes on in the house. Whoops. I was guilty of that today. Not in the house, but at work. And there's mud everywhere. Sorry. I didn't know it was there. When people let their dogs lick their face, guys who openly scratch or adjust their junk in company of others. Well, you got to once in a while reset, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it depends on how aggressive we're getting and what the social situation is. But yeah,
that's a very good point. If you're getting too aggressive with it,
right? You'll get people where they're like up to their elbow down their pants, trying to. It's like, okay,
let's not do that.
Yeah,
Just turn around at least.
You're right. Accidentally touching the inside of a sink while washing your hands. Who cares?
Sinks are very filthy.
I suppose.
Yeah, especially if it's a public restroom, and that's a little not great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your mother would be thrown under the bus on this one, Andy. Scream sneezing. She doesn't do it very often anymore. She used to like,
that is true. She does.
The people where like you looks like they threw their whole back out because they like wind up, lean back, and it's like, okay, just sneeze into your elbow like a normal human being.
It's true. Communal food like potlucks or pizzas for work or parties. Couldn't care less about that. American flag clothing, which some hardliners consider distasteful, if not disrespectful to the flag.
You are technically not supposed to wear the flag.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. That's
one of like the flag rules.
And it's weird.
It is weird.
Like, especially the people like on the 4th of July, they're like their whole family is wearing. It's like, no, like it's just
you're right. Just a couple to go, ladies and gentlemen. Swimming pools, at least one person compares it to sharing bath water with many other people. No, you don't put. There are chemicals in a swimming pool that aren't in a bathtub. Calm down.
Russian bathhouse.
Sharing drinks, even among family members.
I don't share drinks.
No, I know you don't.
Never
I don't think
have,
anybody
never would.
Yeah, I know. Finally, and I couldn't agree more with this one, mayonnaise. I have never understood why people. I'll put a little on a sandwich. So that inch thick deal. No. God, that's nasty.
No, light touch.
Light touch will do it. Speaking of a light touch, that's how Kristyn Burt approaches her reporting right after this. Oh, God. She posed. I saw her pose. We'll be right back.
Oh, okay then.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Landon and Gavin Miller of D&B Plating.
I've always been impressed with their speed of answers to our questions, and that has allowed us to expand and capitalize on opportunities in the market.
North American Banking Company has never made us feel like a number. They've always treated us as a partner.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Tom Barnard is back. Every weekday, you'll hear Tommy B, Brittany Arneson. Yes, that Brittany Arneson. Along with Tom's pals Kent Herbeck on Fridays, Bob Sansevier, Mike Stretch Gelfand, Tim Lammers, and from Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Chris Eggert and Kristyn Burt on entertainment and pop culture. It's Tom and the crew with opinions on news, opinions on life, opinions on entertainment, and of course, opinions on other people's stupid opinions. The Tom Barnard Show is a podcast, so you can listen when you want to listen. In the car, on the way to or from work, at home, on the job site, or wherever you need your Tommy B Show fix. Hear the show on the Tom Barnard Show app in your app store, as a podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, or see it on YouTube on the Tom Barnard Show channel.
It is 10:22 now, 22 minutes after 10 o'clock. Kristyn Burt joining us now. I have to ask you right out of the chute because the headline just appeared on my screen a couple of minutes ago, and I have not read the article, but I don't give a rat's ass about this. But now apparently,
why are we bringing it up then?
Well, Jada Smith,
Jada Pinkett Smith, yeah.
What's the name?
Yep.
Jada
yeah.
Pinkett Smith,
Jada
Will
Pinkett.
Smith's on again, off again wife.
She apparently, and again, I haven't read the article, but the headline seems to imply she is saying that both she and Will Smith are bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Not sure she can make that call for him.
I have heard that before.
Oh, you have?
That has been a long running rumor in
Oh,
Hollywood,
didn't know that.
along with the fact that they're swingers, or that they were having affairs on each other, or that they had an open marriage. That has definitely been something in Hollywood. I think we've all heard at some point or another, but maybe not Tom.
You think they just, well, I don't pay any attention to Hollywood news. I couldn't give a rat's ass less about Hollywood news.
I'm glad I'm here every day.
Yeah, really.
That's not, you don't do Hollywood news. You do entertainment news. That's a totally different thing.
It's all mushed together in
Let's
one.
just hang up
You
on
just-
her right
right,
now.
You just don't like the gossip.
No, I'm not the
news
guy.
where,
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you an example. If Jada and Will are bi, I don't care.
Right.
Why would I care about that? You do what
Yeah,
you want
I
to do with your
agree.
stuff. Right?
Honestly, I hope we get to a point where people don't have to just declare their
Right.
status,
Yeah.
because I think that it should just be accepted. Like LGBTQ plus, we welcome you, and that's the thing. I mean, live your life as the way you live it truthfully. And I think that's the
Right.
thing. But I think in Hollywood for a very long time, they've been some of the trendsetters in coming out or saying that they're bisexual or saying that they're transgender. And I think that with Gen Z and probably the Alpha Gen, they're going to be like, you don't need to declare anything. Do you? We're good.
It's where I'd like to get. Say you do, like I said, stay away from the kids and the animals. I'm good.
Well, they declare it because it gets them in the news cycle.
That's true. Right.
She has a memoir to sell right now, and the headlines have been pretty sensational. We talked a little bit about it this week, but it comes out today. Today's the 17th. And she's been backtracking and backpedaling a little bit. She went back on the Today Show after doing her exclusive with them, saying, well, I have a few more things I need to add. I feel like they were taken out of context. So I have a feeling behind the scenes, she and Will were like, he said, she said. But she seems now to indicate, well, I think we're at the tail end of our separation, and I think that maybe there is a reconciliation on the horizon. And I'm like, girl, we are tired. We are tired from this news.
Isn't it been like 8 years of it or something? Something like that, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 7 years they've been
7 years.
separated. Okay. Yeah. So it's just one of those situations. And a lot of the revelations came on her Facebook Watch show, which is now canceled, but Red Table Talk. They talked a lot about their family life. And I think there is a line of TMI. Like, people do love gossip, but then there is a fine line where people say, enough, we're good. And I'm seeing that a lot on social media.
I agree. I just live your life. You do what you want to do, blah, blah, blah. Now, what's amazing about that is what we're doing now is saying, hey, you know what? It'll be great if you could just live your life. You wouldn't have to, impress upon other people you're this, that, or the other thing. because in a lot of the Eastern Hemisphere, of course, more than here, but there are places here, same situation, you get thrown off a building if you're gay. I mean, that is a whole different kettle of fish right there. And I've never understood that. Let's see, you like guys instead of women? I think I'll kill you. What?
Well, I think it's still scary, even in the US, for people who were raised in very conservative religious households.
Yeah.
A lot of families still shun their kids, which is shocking to me. And they have to go out there, they're kicked out of the house and they have to rebuild their lives. And they don't have any contact with their family. So that still does exist in 2023.
Okay, I have a question for you. You have a child who you all of a sudden find out is gay and you never talk to them again. It's your child, for Christ's sake.
And that's the thing I have an issue with. You're putting your religion ahead of your child.
No,
That's a problem.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. That's ridiculous. God doesn't even like you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not the parent, not the kid.
I'll go into a Catholic church and burn. Is that what you're saying?
Burn on fire.
Spontaneous combustion.
I've never but again, full disclosure, I've been in the entertainment business or talk radio or voiceover, whatever, since I was 18 years old. So I've been around gay people my whole damn adult life. I don't care. I never did care. I grew up Catholic, and they always think that Catholics are all anti-gay. Catholics don't give a rat's ass about people being gay. I got to be honest with you. You find out a lot of times that the priests or the nuns were gay after you grew up. The couple of schools I went to, it turns out a couple of the nuns were gay. One of the priests was gay. Who cares? I don't see the connection between getting into heaven and where you put your stuff.
Well, it's interpretations of the Bible, and I think that's the real issue. And then you can we can start splitting hairs because it's not. If you go to certain aspects of the Bible, they're saying it's fine, and then you have other people that are like, but I'm like, are you eating lobster and shellfish? Because the Bible also says you shouldn't do that while you're at your clam bake, by the way.
Oh, really? You're not supposed to eat shellfish?
Nope.
Yeah.
Why? What did they do now?
What's in the book of Leviticus, I believe, is that particular one. Well, the book of Leviticus has a bunch of laws that were passed down to some tribe. I forget exactly what the specifics are, but there are many, many, many of them, Levitical laws, and a lot of them are very strange. A famous one is mixed fabric. So, like, you can't wear like a linen and a wool fabric at the same time, or weave a garment out of both.
Don't wear polyester, people.
Exactly. It's hard to really justify that one. A lot of them do make sense if you look at the history of the region. Shellfish, for example, tend to be loaded with parasites, disease, that sort of thing.
Oh, really?
So back then, you catch a crab, you eat the crab, you're probably going to get sick. So God was like, stop eating crabs, you morons. But now it's not really relevant because we have modern food safety. We have, better ability to cook things. But a lot of these laws, they hinged on the context of the time. A lot of people are like, well, they don't apply anymore. But then some people think, well, it's in the Bible, therefore it's got to apply. And there's really no objective way of saying whether they do or not.
I think just being a good person is exactly how you should interpret the Bible at the end of the day.
Yeah. Have they ever gone like on Family Guy? It seemed to me to be the kind of show to have all of a sudden God sitting down at the desk going, honey, don't bother me for a while. I've got to take on the gay deal. I mean, seriously, do people actually think that if there is a God, that God's going to sit in judgment of you? You're not that important, first of all. I mean, why do people think that this whole, and I don't know if there's a God or not. I'm not saying there is, and I'm not saying there isn't. I don't know. So why don't we just live our life and calm down?
I mean, I agree. It's one of those situations. If you don't agree with it, you are welcome to raise your family with those beliefs, but you shouldn't be pressing your beliefs on anybody else. And I think that's really what it comes down to.
I could not agree with you more. It's just calm down. Why is it if you're not just like me, I don't like you? What? I mean, whether it's political or it's sexuality or whatever it is, unless you're just like me, I don't want you anywhere near me. that a little arrogant, don't you think?
Quite possibly so.
Just a little arrogant.
I mean, we all disagree all the time on this show, so
Well,
we
we
also
ever
get
do.
along.
All right, what's happening in Hollywood, sister?
I don't know if anyone's caught it yet. It is on Disney Plus in honor of their 100th anniversary of Disney animation, Once Upon a Studio. They brought together 543 of the characters from 85 of the films in tribute to Walt Disney. It's an animated short. Highly recommend you go and check it out. For those of you that don't have Disney Plus, but maybe have like Disney Channel or some of the other ones, it will be showing over the next week or so. So you'll have to kind of check the schedule and see how to watch it. But they did something really interesting. We've been talking about AI a lot. They brought back the genie, which was played, of course, by Robin Williams. They were able to not only get an agreement from the estate, of course, but they also didn't use AI. They sort of pieced together some of the old clips of his voice, and they were able to create new animation, but still using Robin Williams' voice.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You know, I never met him, never talked to him. Was he as kind of not really difficult, but kind of unusual always?
I think he was an unusual person.
Yeah,
yes.
very unusual guy.
Yeah, and I think it depends on what era you got him into. I
that
think,
too, yeah.
you know, when he was in the throes of his drug addiction, could you keep up? If you look at some of those old interviews, you know he's high as a kite. He's still incredibly funny, but I'm like, I can't even keep up with this train of thought, just of like where he was going next. And then if you kind of got him in his later era when he was sober, he was more of a family man, still extremely witty. But I think that seeing him lean into the drama and into the comedy, I think we saw more of like what was going on behind the real Robin Williams, behind closed doors.
Yeah, just really sad. What a sad story. What caused all that? Did they ever find out?
Yeah, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and then got the additional diagnosis of Lewy body dementia, which my uncle just passed away from in January. He had both, and it really does incapacitate you very rapidly once you have that Lewy body dementia diagnosis. So that is why he died by suicide. I think he just didn't want to live with a declining body.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, but what's Lewy body dementia?
It's Lewy bodies are an aggregate of proteins that build up in your brain. They don't know if the dementia causes the Lewy bodies or the Lewy bodies cause the dementia.
So what happens to you when you have it?
It's dementia. It's basically a form of Alzheimer's, more or less.
But in addition with the Parkinson's, because they usually go hand in hand,
yeah, and that makes it worse.
Your physical body and your mind are also declining all at once. And I think my uncle was only 64, and I think that like just watching the decline, because he was probably one of our most vibrant family members, always so full of life, it was really hard to watch.
Yeah, I don't blame Robin at all for what he did, to be honest.
Oh, instead of going through that.
Yep.
It's a tough, sad decline.
This was your uncle, you said? Your cousin? Who was it?
My uncle.
That was your uncle.
Yeah.
And he was only 64.
64.
Oh, that's terrible.
And he only had the diagnosis, I'm going to say, about 4 years in total. And so it was pretty rapid once it really set in.
That's very, very sad news. No question about it. All right, I'm going to shift gears and tell you we watched the last episode of Lioness last night.
How did you like the finale?
I really like that show a lot.
Lioness?
Yeah, it's Special Forces. It's
the
about
kid with
women.
the blanket?
Linus.
Some peanuts?
Yes.
Linus is my cat also.
Your cat. And no, it's about tough women. And as you know, I love tough women. I do love tough women. There's no doubt about it. So I thought it was a great show. Zoe Saldana was incredibly good in it.
I love Zoe Saldana.
She's amazing.
I saw they put Colombiana on Netflix recently, and so I rewatched it. So good. I love her.
I feel like she's underrated. Like she works a lot, but I feel like she doesn't get the credit she deserves because she's a great actress and can kind of like jump between genres quite a bit.
No doubt about it. I just, we really enjoyed watching it. There's some, tough scenes to watch and all the rest of it, and how she deals with her family and doing her job, and because she's gone so much. It was very well done. Well, this Taylor Sheridan, he should write another show.
He doesn't have enough shows on the air, and at least he's back to work at least now that the writer's strike is over. So who knows what he's cranking out? He's probably working 24/7 because he has a lot of shows to catch up on.
Well, he's got another show starting in 2-3 weeks, something like that. First week in November, and it looks to be, was it a Western? I couldn't really tell from the promo what the concept was.
What's the title on that one?
I don't know the title.
Lawmen?
Lawmen, yeah, it's called Lawmen. Is it the Old West, Andy?
Based on the name, I would say most likely.
It kind of looks like an Old West type of deal, but I don't know if it's modern day or old
The
time.
untold story of the first Black U.S. Marshal.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Who the hell would want to watch? Oh, wait a minute, Tevin's still here.
You know what? I'll watch it. I'll give it a look. What do we got going?
No, it looks really good. Well, Telly Sheridan stuff is all good. He does a good job.
And he's really good at that genre too. So yeah.
About a real life guy who was born in 1838. So yeah, very Old West.
Yeah.
No, I'll be watching it 2 weeks. I'll be watching it. No question about it.
The Old West is hot right now.
Why is that, do you think?
I think it's just cyclical because, we had an era where Westerns in Hollywood were huge at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Kind of went away for a while. You bring it back, you sort of revive the genre going, people haven't seen this. And, when they haven't seen it for a while, it feels refreshing and it feels new, even though it's not.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Any great things that are coming up that we don't know about?
There's not a lot because you have to remember we're also starting to lean into the holiday season, so it's going to be a lot of holiday specials,
right?
Especially, and honestly, the holiday season begins November 1st now. It's no longer we wait until after Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving when I was a kid. You're right.
I know, but now
back to that.
I mean, thinking even your radio stations, there's always that one radio station in every city that automatically just changes the entire format beginning November 1st, and it's all holiday music.
Yep. What's a radio station? I don't know what that is.
What?
You
don't remember what that is anymore.
Yes, I have no memory of that whatsoever.
Like, wait a minute, somewhere in my foggy brain, somewhere.
I do have a foggy brain. You know what? I can tell you exactly what time it is because every night at a few minutes after 8:00, I can't concentrate. Isn't that weird? We were playing a game we were down in Red Wing. We're playing a game and I was just fine. All of a sudden it was 8:03. I couldn't think of an answer to one.
What did you say? You said, I'm starting to sag.
I'm starting to sag.
And we were all making fun of you
Yes,
for not needing to know that information about you. And then
I
you
was sagging.
were like, your brain is sagging. That's a thing that people say. I'm like, you're the first person to ever say this.
Well, brain sag is real, but it's a medical emergency.
Yeah, but that's if you
have
brain was
medical
sagging,
emergency,
you needed to bring you to the
brain
hospital.
My brain gets tired at 3 p.m. and I take like a nap and then I feel revived.
See, that's what I should do.
Yeah.
Take a nap at
What
8:00.
life is
at
like
night.
without kids. Jeez.
Okay.
I had kitties instead of kiddies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the hell? Yeah. So I'm just trying to think of some other things because there were a couple of new things. Like I said, the new Taylor Sheridan show starts in 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in there. It's got to be a little bit over 2 weeks because it's in November. I know that. So the first week in November, I guess is the way I'll put that. So I'll look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, The Crown is coming back. I don't know if you guys watch The Crown. It's the final season of that.
Oh.
And what's that all about?
The Crown is all about the royal family, and they're kind of almost up to modern times. At least they are. This focuses in on Princess Diana's death and the subsequent fallout from all of that. So it will be released in 2 parts. The first part in November on Netflix with 4 episodes, and the second part in December with the final 6. And that is the series finale. They're not going to cover the rest of the royal family in real time. So
that'd be weird.
Because we can just read the headlines every single day because there's always a royal story going on.
True.
Yeah, that is true. Are those 2 kids in Washington or where the hell ever they are? They're ever going to get over it?
California.
They're in California. They're in Montecito.
Oh, they're in Montecito. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they bought a big house in Montecito.
They bought like a $15 million house. They're living right by Oprah. They are doing fine.
Just amazing. Here's a guy that's never done one damn thing productive in his life, and he could buy a $15 million house.
He used his mother's inheritance to buy the house.
Oh, God.
Well, because his father cut off his security, and then all of a sudden
did.
he had a 24/7 security bill, and he was like, the only way we got the house was because I used my inheritance. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had a place to live.
And his father cut him off for what reason?
Because he left his senior royal role.
Why did he do that?
Because according to them, they were Meghan Markle, who is biracial, was experiencing racism from the royal family, not only within the palace, but outside the palace. The British tabloids were terrible to her. And that is fact.
Well,
You
she's
can
a
just
pain
look
in
at
the
any
ass.
headline.
Let's
Yes,
be
she
honest. She's a massive pain in the ass.
I think that everybody's a pain in the ass. I don't think
I
the
think
royal
you're a pain.
family is without fault on this, because I think that the royal, she came in and listen, when the two of them came in and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were married, this was a new opportunity for the royal family to embrace something different, something refreshing. And a lot of people suddenly started paying attention to the palace. But because there are a lot of egos, certain people don't like when there are superstars eclipsing them in the royal family. And literally overnight, headlines started to change. Meghan Markle's too popular, so guess what? They cut you down.
Yeah, but her own father can't stand her.
Her own father sold out her story to the British tabloids.
I
He
know.
started posing for photos before the wedding. Can you imagine if you did that to Alex?
Oh, that wouldn't go well. I
No.
did. She goes,
Sounds
he did.
very familiar.
It was unbelievable. It was
But I
very-
mean, honestly, it's just like there's a big, I mean, it's a mess. It's a mess on both sides.
Why does that have to happen? Because somebody's got a little fame or whatever. You have to go off the deep end. Who cares?
Well, King Charles, most notably, could not handle Princess Diana being the superstar of the family and
That's right.
purposely cut her down outside of his affair we're talking about. And then he did it to Meghan, and now he's doing it to Kate Middleton, because now Kate Middleton is the big superstar.
What the hell? She's been with the family for what, 30 years or something?
But she and William are like the only kind of like young, fun ones left. So
Mhm.
nobody cares about anybody else. And King Charles does not like it. Like they used to give, because Kate Middleton, people care about her fashion and what she's wearing. The palace used to give updates and say, like, she's wearing a Zara dress and she's wearing, J. Crew shoes, whatever. He became so upset that that was a daily update that he said, nope, no more. We're not doing that.
Why does he care?
Because he can't handle anyone else taking the shine. He is the king.
Oh, God.
And so when people get and start taking sides with Kate and Meghan, I'm like, stop. Because really, go look at Charles. He can't handle strong women, period.
I wonder where that came from. Is there any understanding of why he can't handle it?
I wish I knew, because, Queen Elizabeth obviously reigned for 70 years. She was quite a strong woman herself. And I think a lot of people have dismissed the monarchy since she passed away. Like they were open to her reign, but now that Charles has taken over and he's been a disaster in his personal life, people are like, we don't need a monarchy anymore.
I would agree. Why you keep giving money to people that think they're the king or whatever? Blow that out your ass. You're not the king
Well,
anymore.
they are the king.
They're not really. It's a fake king.
Other than everybody
like they
calling
used
them
to be.
They don't have
king
any
and-
power.
It just brings a lot of tourist dollars to the UK. And I think that's one thing.
That's terrible. I mean, we've been in England a few times. A wonderful place, a lot of great things to see. Andy, why did you go behind the statue of the armed soldier? When we were in the Tower of London, there was a big, what are those things called? Those metal outfits they wear?
Armor?
Suit of armor, I guess a suit of armor.
Those metal outfits.
You went.
If you're a knight,
wearing a suit of armor. You don't remember doing that?
I don't remember hiding. No,
you were hiding back there. Yeah, you don't remember that either, Alex?
I remember there being something about there was an umbrella and he lost the umbrella from the hotel and then he got upset.
Yeah, there was something like that.
Yeah,
he was hiding
because
behind.
you were
a
like
suit of armor.
11.
Were you 11?
Umbrella drama is really a big
11 or
deal.
12.
I don't know. I remember you brought an umbrella from the hotel and mom or dad got mad at you because you left it somewhere and then
Way
you
to
got
go,
very
Andy.
upset. This was when you kind of had your big emotional stuff.
What does that
emotional
mean?
stuff.
Let's see. I would have been 12.
Okay.
No, you were 12 then. Yeah, Alex was 10.
I just turned 12.
Oh, so Alex wasn't even 10 yet.
No, you would have been
nine.
almost
You were
10. But
9,
yeah.
You
Mine
guys
was a
remember
wild
that trip?
year. Yeah. I remember the umbrella and the.
Well, no, I'm just glad you remember that.
And I remember
I remember blow pens.
Really good cheese puffs. Europe has their cheese puffs in Europe are so much better. Iceland, if you go to Iceland, buy Pops, and your mind will be blown.
Pops.
They're so good.
What is that?
They're like cheese puffs, but they're little. Like, you know how our cheese puffs are like the length of your pinky?
Mhm.
They're like half that length. And then it's like the cheese to puff ratio and the crunch. Oh,
Yeah, I see them. They look
so good.
like Cheetos.
Yes, but they're infinitely better.
What are they called?
Ostipop. I like how you
Ostipop?
go to the Wikipedia article for them and it's in Norwegian.
Do you buy them in the U.S. ever?
I've never seen them.
Yeah, I'm sure Amazon can get them to you by 5
Yeah.
p.m. if you order them.
I go to my Asian grocery store all the time to buy the snacks that I had in China because I loved them so much.
Oh,
and-
absolutely. Or like World
Japan.
Market has weird snacks from all over the place.
Yeah,
I brought in a
really good
ladybug
stuff.
with me, and now it's everywhere.
I know they're everywhere.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
what you guys were saying.
It was on my shoulder, and
Mhm.
I put it down thinking it would just crawl around, and it just flew into a light.
Where is it now? I don't see it.
It's in the. It's
in
on
one of
the
lights.
ceiling.
Oh, it's on the ceiling somewhere. Yeah, I can't.
I
see
was
it.
gonna bring it back down outside, but you know.
Now it's going to perish, and it's your fault.
Speaking of England, Lady Bird.
What
That's
about
they
her?
call
Ladybird
ladybugs.
beetle?
They call them ladybirds instead of ladybugs.
They call them lady birds.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
In Europe.
I had no idea.
Yep.
They
All
call
right.
them ladybird
It's
beetles.
a harlequin ladybird beetle.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Harley Quinn's Ladybird.
Yes, exactly. It's Harley Quinn.
Anybody been tuning in to any good new TV shows? Any good movies?
Not since
Did-
yesterday.
Have you avoided the Royal Hotel like you should?
Yeah, no, I haven't accidentally stumbled in and watched the Royal Hotel.
Wait, he told me not to. But it's
So I stumbled in and watched it. No, I'm telling everyone to watch Once Upon a Studio on Disney Plus. You're gonna love it.
Once
Little Disney
Upon a
nostalgia.
Studio.
Yeah, it's for in honor of their 100th anniversary of Disney animation.
Oh,
yeah.
fun.
543 characters. So
I'll tell you again. I have
Just-
always had wonderful experiences at Disneyland, Disney World. Well, I've never been to Disneyland, but Disney World and all the rest of it. I don't. People have all these problems. We go there. We've been going there every year now for about 100 years, and it's always a great time. I don't understand where all these problems are. And then-
it's very expensive for a family of four
It
to
is
go now.
very
They just
expensive.
raised prices again this
oh, did they
month.
really?
Yeah, and I know that I read a really great article. I believe it was Variety, and they were saying now Disney adults who spend a ton of money and have been a category that's been largely ignored by Disney, they're just starting to kind of catch on that, like, hey, you can actually do like adult clothing and like exclusive lines not cater towards kids, and people will buy it.
Really?
But they're starting to call Bob Iger to the table saying, hey, you are starting to make this an unreachable, unattainable type
Right.
form of entertainment because it is too expensive for us to go. The Genie Plus passes just went up as well.
Mhm.
Annual passes went up. Daily passes went up.
So how much are they now?
It depends on which park you go to, east or west. But you know, if you do both parks in California by a 1 day 2-park pass, it's about $200
Holy God.
Per person?
Yep.
per person. That's an
Absolutely.
adult. And then you have to add, remember, the Genie Plus, if you want to not wait in line all day, that's an
Right.
additional $30 or more because it's also one of those pricings that sort of vary depending on like how busy it is that day at the park. So the variable pricing, you can easily hit $250 on a 1 day 2-park pass.
The thing I don't understand is the 2-park pass. Because I am a Disney adult, not like a weirdo, but I love Disney. And I am very, very active. I can walk around for hours on end. I have more energy than most adult people do. But the idea of going to 2 Disney parks in 1 day makes me want to
know,
just go
for
to
real.
sleep.
Mhm.
I don't
Well,
know why.
I'm going to stop you on this only because Disneyland and California Adventure are right across from each other. So you literally just go out the front, you walk 10 steps, and you're in California Adventure.
But
So
it's like-
doing a 2-park in California is doable. Florida, I don't think it is. It's
There's
too
too
much
much to
far away.
do.
Well, I was going to say, like, there's not enough to
Yeah.
do in one park for a day. That's
Right,
the thing that I
exactly.
don't understand.
I think if you've been, like, I would buy a 2-park pass in a day because I would hit the, let's say, 8 rides that I want to do at Disneyland in the morning, and then the afternoon go over to California Adventure and hit those other 5 or 6 rides that I want to do. So that's why it makes sense.
I limited myself to like 3 rides in a day, and I was like, that's plenty.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, well, I mean, after like 4 rides, you've probably stood in line for 6 hours.
That's the thing. I'm just like, I want to go back to my hotel and just lay down for a little while.
It's a waste of time if you don't have Genie Plus now. I'm calling it out right now. We did it for Epcot and hit every single ride we wanted to. It was fabulous, but I watched other people waiting in line for hours.
Yeah,
they like $30 extra dollars. It's like when you're already paying so much money.
Yeah, what's an additional 10?
I'd rather skip a meal and like bring snacks into the park, and save that money. If that's a budgetary thing, that's what I would do.
Just pack
PB&Js. They had suspended the Genie Plus pass when we went, I think, right? It like wasn't.
Yeah, during COVID, there was no. They were doing the switch from the Magic Band to Genie Plus, but it wasn't ready yet, and it was a whole thing.
So it was just all normal lines for every ride, and even though the park was supposedly at half capacity, the lines were still, some of them were an hour, 90 minutes. Yeah.
Well, and it was, since it was during COVID, they shut down certain rides because they wanted to do the 6 feet thing. So the lines were not as compact. They were like, they'd go through stores.
Yeah. What was the thing that we went on where the
Peter
line,
Pan.
It was the line was literally like,
we had to go through like 2 levels.
You have to fly to Singapore to get in line.
Yeah.
And then you have to swim across the ocean while still in line, by the way.
We went through a closed restaurant and then upstairs and then around this like hidden area that I didn't even know existed in Peter Pan. That was like the kids' bedrooms.
Yeah, I remember
that. The top floor of Peter Pan. And then back down through the restaurant and then into where the regular line usually is.
Absolutely not. I would be like, you know what? Just give me one of those like restaurant style beepers that buzz when it's my turn to get on. When it's my turn to get on the ride.
Yeah, you have 2 minutes to get there and get on the ride, or you're out.
It's a test of your patience at Disneyland, or Disney World. It can be really tough.
Well, it's like everyone's got cell phones now, so at least you can do something while you're in line. You can like play a game or something. Imagine 30 years ago, when you're in line, you're just standing there doing nothing.
Having ADHD at Disney World's great.
But the lines weren't that bad 30 years ago. That's the thing.
That's true. That you weren't standing in line for 90 minutes. I don't think.
Plus the fact they got in free and got to do whatever they wanted to because I worked for Disney.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Well,
that's nice. No, it's a nice perk. Did you guys ever do Disneyland and then go into Club 33?
I've never been to Disneyland.
We've never been to Disneyland.
Oh my goodness. I bet you could have gotten a Club 33 invite back in that era. Dad.
You probably still get one. What's a Club 33?
Club 33 is a private club within Disneyland, and it's a really fun meal and a fun place to hang out.
You have to be invited, though.
You have to be invited by a member. So
not a problem.
How do you become a member?
You are on a waiting list for like a decade before you're allowed.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. I'll go when I'm almost 50.
I've been twice, honestly. Someone got me that as a gift for my birthday, which was amazing. And then another person invited me for their birthday and we went along, and they've added like a new kind of more casual, it's very formal dining. So you have to dress up. So you'll be dressed up at the park, by the way, for Club 33, but they added sort of a casual component to Club 33. So you can go and do like more of a pub style situation if you don't want to do the formal dining, but formal dining's kind of cool. So I'd say do that.
Yeah. And there's like secret little areas of the park that you can only get into if you're Club 33 person.
There's 4
lounges. And
there's 4 lounges.
Yeah.
One in each of the parks at Walt Disney World Resort. There's also a Club 33 in Tokyo and Shanghai Disneylands.
Okay.
So there you go. If you're ever in Tokyo, Disneyland.
Go ahead and do that.
All right, we should probably kick in the family show here in the next hour.
Did we ever even run the?
We did run it. We haven't had any
45 commercials.
We'll do it right now.
We did not.
Get rid of me and run your commercials.
Yeah, we're getting rid of Kristyn Burt right now. Damn it!
All right, see you all tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. We'll be right back right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years. But I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
It's Tom Barnard for Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. I'm happy to say I purchased an EV Mustang from Flagship and have friends and coworkers who bought new vehicles and used ones from this family-run dealership that's just 20 minutes west of the metro in Baldwin. Whether you want to compare their used car specials, claim Ford financing options, or simply book an oil change or tire rotation, they have you covered at Flagship Ford. New vehicles like the Ford Escape, the Edge, or F-150 pickups with special engine options. Flagship Ford can answer all your questions on your next new vehicle. The month of October is Tire Month at Flagship Ford. Fit your tires for your specific vehicle, any model car, truck, or SUV, and get your tires before the snow flies, just $5 over cost. That's a purchase of 4 new tires with a $70 rebate gift card on top of the $5 over cost on most brands of tires. Flagship Ford, east of the metro in Baldwin, Wisconsin, and online at flagshipford.com. That's flagshipford.com.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Whatever. Put your
Hello,
headphones
everybody.
on.
We're
Yeah.
back.
I'm not coming back.
There we
Forget
go.
it. Look at that. We'll be out right on time. What do you think of that?
Look at that.
Answer me. That's all I have to say. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the morning show. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with the family show. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did, and tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
It's Tom Barnard for Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. I'm happy to say I purchased an EV Mustang from Flagship and have friends and coworkers who bought new vehicles and used ones from this family-run dealership that's just 20 minutes west of the Metro in Baldwin. Whether you want to compare their used car specials, claim Ford financing options, or simply book an oil change or tire rotation, they have you covered at Flagship Ford. New vehicles like the Ford Escape, the Edge, or F-150 pickups with special engine options. Flagship Ford can answer all your questions on your next new vehicle. The month of October is Tire Month at Flagship Ford. Fit your tires for your specific vehicle, any model car, truck, or SUV, and get your tires before the snow flies, just $5 over cost. That's a purchase of 4 new tires with a $70 rebate gift card on top of the $5 over cost on most brands of tires. Flagship Ford, east of the Metro in Baldwin, Wisconsin, and online at flagshipford.com. That's flagshipford.com.
You got to sing along like my dad.
We're rocking out, man.
Rocking out, man.
Welcome to the family with.
Is that what you think my dad sounds like? Welcome to the family with. Well, you're first.
Oh, Tevin Pittman.
That's Brant Bernard Rasmussen.
And Andy Brant Bernard.
Tom's not here.
No, he's a bit distracted.
Neither is
today.
Catherine.
Oh yeah, hopefully he ran into her in the hallway, and that's. Oh, I think I
Somebody's. It's Dad. I was gonna say the only family we have right now are Andy and me. Tevin's just here.
Yep.
Doing
Honorary.
who knows what. Honorary.
Yeah, we're
back.
It's 11:04.
Where's Mom?
She's late.
Great.
Just like yesterday.
No, not.
I know, it's shocking.
Nana being late. Who ever heard of it?
It's shocking.
Well, you guys been on for 3 minutes already?
No, we've been on for like a minute. Not even.
The recording 3.3 minutes and 4 seconds.
That's hours.
Yeah, that's the
3 hours,
that's the
4
whole
minutes.
show. Yeah, because it's all one. Yeah, it's all one continuous stream and recording.
So we have been on for when did you come
3
come
hours.
back on?
I don't know. Wait,
Well,
like
3
30
hours
Like
we've been
30
back.
so we've been on for 3.
A minute or two.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
couple
it's
seconds.
like
Nothing.
not a big deal.
Long enough to say our names.
Tevin did a really good impression of
Yeah,
you, though. You
yep.
should listen back to that.
Yep.
It was.
Let's
It
hear
was-
it.
I said we're rocking out, man. And
Rocking out,
Yep.
man. I had a friend that used to say that. Joe Hager used to say that all the time.
Really?
Smoking Joe. Thanks for
Not-
tuning in. We're rocking out, man.
Not that Smoking Joe though.
No, different Smoking Joe. Smoking Joe Hager, not Smoking Joe
Frazier.
Yep.
We have Tim Lammers on.
Down goes Frazier.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. What's up, Timmy?
Did your friend say, I quit this bitch?
I quit this bitch.
Rocking out to the beat. What was the name of the station that Shaletta, the Moon Setter? The Mood Setter?
Yeah.
Arletta, not Shaletta. It's
Shaletta,
Arletta. Get her name right.
Something Letta.
Arletta, the mood setter. I quit this bitch.
Inetta.
Inetta?
Inetta.
What's
Inetta,
Inetta?
Inetta, the mood setter.
I never heard of Inetta. Inetta Fish. I think Inetta Brandt just got here.
She was
There she
on
There she
93 BLX.
She is
The big station, 93 BLX.
WBLX in
She's
Mobile,
very
Alabama.
what, Tevin?
Suck
Catherine. Come here for a second.
She was very inquisitive, I guess, of intrigued by the mud that's Tom
Okay,
tracked
that's
to
what
the studio.
when I came into, I was like, why are there clumps of dirt? Oh, Seavers.
The pumpkin patch.
I didn't
Should've
know it was this bad, though.
It's really bad. I know. There's chunks of dried mud all over the place.
I'm sorry, cleaning people. I'm sorry, cleaning people. I got mud everywhere.
No, you're not, because the cleaning people don't go in there.
They don't go in here?
No, you're sorry.
I
for
usually
Mom
vacuum.
Or Alex.
Yeah. Hey, that's sexist. Why don't you or Tevin pick up a vacuum? Yeah.
Because I'm injured.
Why didn't Tevin pick up?
I don't have any excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
Jude will eat the mud.
Yeah,
Jude will eat the mud.
Yes.
All right, we're back at it. Timmy Lammers is with us. Catherine's now here. So what could be better than that, right? So what time
There
did
we go. Gang's all here.
How many minutes after did you start?
We're like a couple minutes in.
Okay, so okay.
Like 3
We are
minutes.
3 minutes and 20 seconds in.
Okay, so it would have been 3:03.
11:03.
Well, no, I mean 3:03 recording time.
I suppose.
Oh, Jesus. It's just argue every single point. Anyway, Timmy
Uh-oh.
Lammers was making, what's the matter?
Whenever you start doing that, that means something didn't work out well.
He's been very distracted the past like half hour. I can tell you that much.
I've been.
What did you do? What happened?
Well, we didn't run our last ad break on the show on time.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
It got in by
See?
59.
It's gonna
It was
be-
supposed to run at 10:45.
I know, but it got in by 59, so it was in the
Oh
hour.
yeah, we got it. We got it in. Yeah, we got it in. Wasn't necessarily at
But you guys-
10:45.
Here's what I like. I've been in radio 52 years, but I don't know what I'm doing. I love that.
Okay.
This isn't
You
radio.
hear things
You
that
sure do.
we don't say, and it's interesting where you hear them from.
Hey, Tim, do you think it's a coincidence that as soon as the third member of my family got here, I'm being criticized roundly?
It happens to me every day, Tom.
Yeah,
Don't stick up for him.
Well, you
He's
know,
got
just-
enough.
Well, he goes, well.
Well,
Timmy was, what were you talking about, Timmy, when Kathryn got here?
I don't know. I mean, I
Oh,
netted
let
the
her
mood
leave
setup,
that.
maybe.
You were talking about the mood setup. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember,
so you
I
went
left the mood
to
setup.
some
clicked this bit.
Halloween deal? Is that where you were talking about tracking mud?
Yeah, we went to Seaver's Corn Festival.
Ah,
I think it's called the Fall
It's a
Festival.
Fall
now.
Festival.
It used
No,
to
it's
be
not a corn
Seaver's Corn Maze or something, and now it's Seaver's Fall Festival.
Fall Festival.
Oh, is that the place we used to go for the corn maze when we were kids?
No.
No, that was like out in Maple Grove or something.
That's, I think, Dean's Pumpkin Patch.
Yeah.
isn't
It
it?
was,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
They still do that.
Mhm.
And it's
at
still a
least you're
big
getting
deal, too.
crisp, nice fall weather for it. You know.
It's very crisp.
Yeah, especially in the mornings. Ooh, cold.
Yeah, borderline freezing.
What are you going to
This
do?
is perfect though. It's nice in the afternoon, cold in the morning.
It's supposed to be 62 today this
I
afternoon.
know, and it's beautiful.
It'd be
I love this
amazing.
fall weather. I love it, baby.
Yep.
I do too.
I
So,
want to
Tim,
know if anybody in studio saw Taylor Swift over the weekend.
anyone?
Brittany's not here, so no.
I
Brittany,
stood in line
Brittany
for
saw
that.
it 5 times.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I was
Kristyn, did Kristyn see it?
Oh, I'm sure she did.
I did.
She
Kristyn
didn't
see
mention
it?
it.
I don't know.
She
Yeah,
did
we didn't
not
talk
mention
about
it.
it, but I'm sure she did.
Yeah, I mean, I was messaging her and asked her about advanced screenings of it because that was the big deal last week. I didn't even know if I was going to get a chance to review it because they were going to open it on Friday and then they opened it a day early, which allowed me to go see it on Thursday night so I could talk with you on Friday about it.
So let's hear
She made it sound like she was going to go. So weird.
Well, didn't she?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it just didn't come up. It's not
Yeah.
exactly like Tom's a Taylor Swift fan.
Now, I just should warn y'all. I mean, and this is, I'm not. This is obnoxious on Taylor Swift's behalf. I enjoyed the movie. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but they're talking about the 125 million worldwide or whatever. Well, the reason for that is because she charged $19.89 for her ticket. That's before tax. So she charged twice the amount for tickets.
Okay, I know that is just.
It's obnoxious.
Is
She
that
might
true?
not have had anything to do with that. I don't know. Like,
Oh, she runs her own show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because 1989 being her birth year, being the name of her album,
Oh, it's all about her.
and then and
Oh,
furthermore,
but here's the thing. People aren't going to see the Taylor Swift movie because they want to pay movie prices to go see a movie. People are going to the Taylor Swift movie because they couldn't go to the concert because tickets were so expensive.
yeah,
They're
and
happy to pay $20 for a ticket to go see
it's a very affordable thing. And just one more thing to add about ticket prices for seniors and kids, it was $13.13, which because Taylor's favorite number is 13. So no, it's not about Taylor at all.
No.
Tay.
Well, but
You're
that's
too
like,
much.
it's
Tay,
the
Tay.
whole like Taylor Swift cult thing, though. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
everybody's
It is a
into
cult,
13
absolutely.
in 1989 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
she's-
I
Or
really,
actually-
again, I went into this movie not knowing a damn thing about her music. And, I told Tom last Friday, look, she really is a positive role model for teen girls. And that's wonderful. You
Right.
can't ask for anything better than that.
Which
You
is-
want to inspire
people in a positive way. I don't care if I know her music or not. I could feel it. I could see it. There were kids down the way in my aisle singing and clapping and cheering. It was fun. It was actually kind of fun. Now, I have been reading articles about how some theaters got a little out of hand, where viewers did not stay in their seats. They kind of like gathered at the front of the theater, and they held up their cell phones at one point because some theaters allowed cell phones in so they could do the whole light thing, right?
So they can feel the concert experience.
Yeah. And I guess since I only had about a dozen people, it didn't bother me, a dozen people in my viewing. But I really wonder what it was like inside. Well, Brittany would probably have the answer for that, what it was like inside of a packed house.
Just definitely one of those people up front with the camera.
Yeah, Brittany said there were kids, like up next to the screen, dancing, singing. Everybody's giving friendship bracelets. Yeah.
Well, when my kids go to movies and there's not very many people there.
No one goes to a kids movie expecting calmness. And
I
quiet.
let them dance and jump around and stuff. And I've been yelled at a couple movies for singing along.
Oh, yeah?
Who yelled at you?
People. Like when I went to go see Across the Universe, Karen's
got
real mad at me for singing along with the Beatles. Michael and I got in trouble.
If you're going to the Taylor Swift movie, you should expect people to be singing.
It's not a movie. It's a virtual concert.
It's a virtual, exactly. It's like the whole point of it is to go because you couldn't go to the concert, but you want to experience the concert.
Sorry, was there any like production stuff, or was it just the concert?
It was just the concert, and that was kind of disappointing because I thought, okay, we're going to get backstage stuff. This is going to be an immersive. It was an immersive experience from the musical point of view. It was wall to wall music, and of course, in between, there's banter with the audience and all that stuff. But one thing I said last Friday was I would take this experience over the actual concert any day, because you could be in the nosebleeds for the concert. But here, the production is amazing. You're talking video elements. Sound is fantastic. I mean, I don't know what is the sound like at US Bank Stadium, because that's where she performed, right?
I've heard it's very bad.
Yeah. I mean, so yes, you have the ambiance, the whole thing. It's kind of like one thing I alluded to is watching a football game at home versus being there in the stadium. Yeah, it's a great thing as long as your team's winning.
Right.
But that's not always the case in Minnesota. So I just as soon watch it at home, and I would just as soon watch a concert like this where it's really an up close and personal experience. You can hear everything she's saying. The sound is amazing as far as the music is concerned. Again, there were shots of the audience all the time. I mean, there were different things like that. It was like being there, I guess, in a way, except for, again, that's the one thing about concerts. Rarely does a band or a singer sound the same as they do on the records. And I honestly prefer that. And the closest I think you get to that is probably seeing the Eagles in concert. They make damn sure that, that everything it's a well-tuned, fine oiled machine on stage. But again, the venue might screw it all. I was at that first Billy Joel concert at Target Center where people walked out and got money back because the sound was so horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that they should definitely, when you go to see a concert on the movie screen, you should have the little bouncing ping pong ball with the lyrics.
Oh, I'm sure that's coming. That's a great idea, Kathryn. And I'm sure it's coming because if people know Taylor Swift, I mean, they were obviously audience members singing along to this. And again, I smiled. It just made me smile. It's just like people are having fun. Again, it's a positive experience. Let them have fun.
Absolutely.
We went to Sing too, the movie Sing, and they had a sing along.
Oh,
and they had the bouncing ball. Anytime there were songs, that's great.
Are you talking the first Sing, Alex?
No, Sing 2.
Okay, Sing 1 had the most amazing version of Golden Slumbers by Jennifer Hudson. If you've seen that movie,
they have. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've seen it. Oh my God!
I've seen Sing 1 and Sing 2 both probably 10 times because Fawn was very, very into those movies. She loves
Golden Slumbers, the Beatles tune. And Jennifer Hudson did a rendition, best I've ever heard.
She's a sheep.
She's the sheep. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, she's like the person that invests in the theater. Oops, spoiler. She saves the theater.
Yes.
And but also the version of Golden Slumbers. My God, it damn near brings you to tears. It's that amazing.
Absolutely amazing voice.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the previous act that was Taylor Swift like 5 years ago?
I don't think there
5
has
years
been
ago
one
was
5
still
years ago.
Taylor Swift.
There hasn't been a great
Still
big.
Taylor Swift. No.
Yeah.
No, I feel
Britney
like
Spears
Yeah,
probably
she
was
started
the
out to be one. Yeah.
like
Arguably, yeah.
Maybe the boy band craze. Maybe what is Timberlake?
Bieber was
when everybody had Bieber fever back in like
Bieber was a
2008.
big
I know,
yeah.
but he's still not as big as he never has been as big as she is.
No,
I'd say
I was trying to
Britney
think of somebody
Spears
that
is
is.
probably the last
Let's see, highest grossing musicians.
where Britney Spears was like on every side of every
Yeah, but that
bus
was
and
a
like you couldn't
while
get
ago.
away. But that's what I'm saying. I think she was the last. Like
There's
I
gotta
don't
be
remember
somebody
there
in
being
between.
Yeah, this is record sales.
because
That's-
Beyonce.
Yeah.
but like she's always just kind of been there and people love her, but she's not as. It's not like as fanatical.
Here we go. The Forbes list of highest earning musicians.
Yeah, but that's different than.
Yeah, then like a pop sensation, like
Yeah.
culture. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's really been anybody in recent times that have taken over like Taylor Swift, where it's everything she does sells out.
Since between the boy band craze and Taylor Swift, there's really not a whole lot.
And I just, as a millennial, and I think she's my age, I don't get it
No,
at all.
I don't either.
Like she just seems like a very like mediocre
I think
singer.
it's just because, like Tim was
that's-
talking about, she's kind of a positive person. She plays instruments. She writes songs.
Yeah,
She's-
yeah, and she.
I mean, I have nothing
dancing.
against her. I just don't understand how she's that big.
Maybe it just was time. Maybe people just
Yeah.
needed, some sort of.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, Alex. I mean, I asked the same question. What is her deal? I mean, why is she so popular? And I think really the only way you do truly discover it is going to a show like this and seeing, first of all, that you're right. She is a terrific musician and singer, plays guitar, plays piano. It's a rare combination. She really hits it on all cylinders. And again, just the whole idea that, it's positive, yes. But also the music isn't that bad. I mean, I'm not going to be.
Yeah, but that's the point.
exactly.
Like that saying where you go like, it's not that bad. She's not like nobody's going. Well, yeah, she's the greatest vocalist of all time. Like,
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of bubblegum in a way, a little bit. But there are some, honest to God, especially like her country stuff. It reminds me of country rock in a way, and I love that kind of stuff. I'm not a old-fashioned traditional twangy whatever, but it's like there's some catchy tunes. I'm not for the pop stuff where they do the dance moves and all that kind of stuff. I'm not for that at all, but the country flavored stuff is actually pretty good to be honest.
So her audience is basically white women under
children.
40.
Yeah,
well under 40 mostly, I would say.
I'd say like 35 and from 35 and under.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about what has been out there, there's been Cardi B,
Yeah, that's the thing is she
who
for a
isn't
long
really
time,
appropriate for playing around children.
For a
at
long
all.
time, all the female artists were very, very trashy.
Really
that's all you got
trashy.
was trash.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's
and rap got super like yucky, like violent,
and
and it
it's-
just got
and especially right
It was
now,
getting dark.
it's all very sexualized.
And like half the time you can't even understand what's going, like what they're saying
SoundCloud
or
mumble
what's
rappers.
just
So
like,
I
I'm
mean,
like, what?
so to play some music around your kids, this is probably like, hey, finally I can play something that my kids. I don't have to explain all about that. I mean, there's some rap that isn't that way, but I just feel like it kind of moved into sort of like that area where you couldn't play that around kids.
I don't know. I'm just
too
trying,
X-rated.
I'm trying to think of concerts that I went to that I was like super excited and why people are so excited about Taylor Swift. Like Lady Gaga. She was huge for a while, but she's like super weird and she's like a show person and she like gay men love her. She has her little niche. And And Adele, I saw her in concert. Like, she's just an incredible singer, and she doesn't have to put on like a big show. But
And she drinks like a fish when she's singing.
Really?
For her, whatever.
She drinks
Enjoy.
the whole.
I know she swears like a drunken sailor. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's got a mouth on her.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Adele.
Yeah, but
so does Michael Bublé.
Yeah, but their music is clean.
Yeah.
Yes, but their music is clean.
It's like
Michael
Bob's
Bublé does what?
Michael Bublé
drinks?
swears a lot.
Oh, really? See, now again, I just like the little I've seen of Michael Bublé. I love his stage presence. These
he's
people
great.
are really great performers.
Yeah, he
You know?
makes it like kind of the old school, like
Loungy.
lounge singer guy.
His
and he's
voice
really,
bothers me.
and he's really funny.
Oh, really? I like him.
The way he makes it, he puts on like almost
It's a crooner thing.
inebriated voice.
Well, that's the whole point.
Oh, but it's just like it sounds so weird.
It's a crooner.
Well, that's the drinking on stage, Andy. That's,
It's almost as good as Step
That's exactly what he sounds like to me.
Okay.
He sounds like
well,
your drunk ass uncle singing on Christmas along to the CD.
Thank you for coming. Try to be old.
No, everybody isn't for everybody.
No,
That's true. Not a lot of people are for me.
That's very true.
Yes.
The last concert I went to was Lauryn Hill, and
Oh.
that was an absolute disaster.
I don't even know who that.
She
Lauryn
showed up
Hill?
2 hours late.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
you right.
Who did you see, Alex?
Lauryn Hill. I saw 2 songs because I
Ah.
carpooled with my sister-in-law, and she was so angry about Lauryn Hill being 2 hours late that she was just standing there like exuding anger. And I was like, and then she looked at me and she's like, I'm ready to go when you are. And I was like, okay, let's leave. Cause I'm like, this isn't going to be any fun. So I saw her sing
Was there
2 songs.
Was
and
there at
then
least a warm-up band for 2 hours,
No.
or were you just
a
sitting
random
there waiting?
DJ came on about like 30 minutes before she came on without any explanation. And then she just all of a sudden, like mid-song, closed her laptop and left. And then Lauryn Hill came on.
See, isn't it obnoxious
It
though
was-
that people show up, and there are some that,
it
they
was-
continually show up late.
She's, I
Yeah.
guess, infamous for showing up when
That's
she wants to show
very
up.
disrespectful
But it's
to your fans.
really hilarious because as we were leaving, there's this one song that Lauryn Hill sings, and one of the lyrics is "It ain't worth it." And this like huge black woman, I was walking next to talking to her, and then like Lauryn Hill sings that line, and then the woman like turns around, she's like, "It ain't worth it." And I was like, "This is hilarious." But talk about drugs. There was a lot of pot smoking going on at that concert.
Oh, I can
My
imagine.
God.
Oh.
And it was hilarious because we were standing it was at Mystic Lake outside.
The outside one, yeah.
And my sister-in-law was like, are you sure this was supposed to start at 8? And I was like, yes, it's supposed to start at 8. It was in the calendar. It was on the tickets, 8 o'clock. And then she's like, I'm going to ask somebody just to make sure. And I was like, you don't believe me? And she's like, she's not even here yet. And it's 8:15. And I was like,
oh,
maybe she's a little late. Like, I don't know.
They're almost always
And
an hour late.
And we turn around and there's a group of like 5, the whitest, probably like 22-year-old boys. And I was like, why are you at a Lauryn Hill concert? Like, what? This is not who I was expecting to see.
This gives them cred for when they get on Fortnite later.
Yeah, it was really weird. And she was like, was it supposed to start at 8? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, she didn't believe me. Thank you, white children, for assisting in the fact that I was right.
Yeah, last time I was mad at a concert was when we went and saw the Spice Girls when you were little, and they
Yeah.
were an hour and a half late.
Oh, really?
And it was a school
I
night.
don't remember that. I just remember.
And I remember
Spice
thinking,
Girls.
there's a million little kids in your audience. Could you show up?
I mean, it's a lot of diva energy.
It sure is.
In the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
I went to a Kevin Hart concert when he was at Target
Concert.
Center, or like a show concert.
I didn't know
It was at
that.
the Target, it was at the Target Center, and it was the same thing where the show was supposed to start at 8. It didn't start till like after 9 almost, and then it wasn't like he then went on. It was, well, now his openers are going.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro.
But I guess they promised the openers stage time, you know.
But if you tell everybody the show
Yeah.
starts at 8, put the openers on and make them go longer if you need.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
they would
like,
be
do
happy to. They'd be
something.
thrilled.
Yeah.
It's like,
But,
yeah, you get an extra 45 minutes of stage time going
I don't
nuts.
know. A lot of-
That's disappointing to hear about Kevin Hart.
Yeah, and I'm like not a huge Kevin Hart fan. Like I don't think
Yeah.
he's that funny. To
Not
begin with. I ended
funny
up
in the
The best
least.
thing about him is his
Okay.
relationship with The Rock.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what I think.
His movies with The Rock.
Well-
What I would have done if I was Kevin Hart, I would have had the opener go on, and then I would have like closed the doors shut behind them and locked them and said, "You're on stage for an hour and a half. Go."
Yeah.
There you
Just to
go.
see what would happen.
Well,
It's
apparently
interesting
Lauryn
about
Hill-
Kevin Hart. The guy is, again, I'm not a fan of his stand-up really. I've seen a couple specials, but I like his movies, and I've seen interviews with the guy. And again, this guy exudes positivity, and I love that about him.
That's nice. Yeah.
But but you're just a dude walking out with a microphone. I mean, what kind of show prep do you have to do why do you need to delay a show for an hour and a half?
Gotta get just the right buzz going on.
Yeah.
Lauren Hill says it's because he doesn't have an on and off switch, and to be a performer, you have to be in the right mind frame. You have to be in the right
You need 2 hours to get there.
Apparently she didn't
Maybe
even
start at 6. With your
apparently
mind
she
frame.
left. She left their sound check at like 7:45 and went back to Minneapolis at a hotel she was staying at when the concert was supposed to start at 8. And she got back to Mystic Lake at like 9:50.
It's a lot of driving.
And it started at 10:20. She went on at 10:20.
See, like
just 2 hours and 20 minutes later.
You think they would like give everyone like a half refund or something like that? Just a show of good faith.
Yeah, I don't
Just be like, I know you just wasted an hour and a half of your time.
I know people were leaving.
Here's
like
$50 back or whatever.
Yeah, I know. And this woman that I was talking to, she was there with her brother, and she was like, he all of a sudden was like, "Do you want to come to the Lauryn Hill concert with me?" And I was like, "Sure." And like, my kids are at our mom's house, and I'm glad I sent them with overnight bags because they're staying there tonight. Like, I'm not gonna go get them after all this. We're not gonna be out of here until midnight. I was like,
right.
My sister-in-law was like, people plan their lives around this and they spent good money, and then she just makes us stand around and wait. And it's like,
well, that's true.
And I like, once she got on, I was like, there she is, and like, let's watch her, and yay.
Yeah.
And she was just like,
just too mad.
Right. Just put it on the tickets that you're going to start the show around 10 o'clock. So that way everybody knows. Like, we don't want to sit here for 2 hours.
I know. And then if somebody's got what am I trying to say?
I'm not sure.
If you know somebody's going to be late, because they always are.
Reputation.
Reputation. Why couldn't I think of the word reputation? Anyway,
it's the same thing with movies too now.
That'll be the one time they're on time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I guess she's not always super late. Sometimes she's on time. Sometimes she's an hour late. Sometimes she's 2 hours late. She, I think, once in Atlanta in like 2017 was 3 hours late. And all these people like made a petition to get their money back, and they were like,
they should absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Atlanta. Ooh.
If you're going to advertise a time, you should stick by it. It's you get burned so often with going to movies where you just know they say 8 o'clock it's going to start. Well, that actually means 8:15 because you're going to have a slew of commercials and trailers ahead of it. And that really sucks when I'm waiting for Taylor Swift, which is nearly a 3-hour film.
Well, it's a
Where
concert.
they delay you 15 minutes further. 15 minutes more. I think I went to a 7 o'clock show and it started at 7:15. So I didn't get out of there before. Well, it was around 10.
I have a friend that when we go to movies, she gets there as early as possible because she likes to like get her popcorn, get in her seat, settle in, watch the trailers. And I'm the person that's like, I will be there 15 minutes after it starts because I don't care. And I just want to like walk in as it's starting. And we don't show up at the same time if we go to the same movie. She's there half an hour before I am.
I was just thinking about something. When I was at Capitol Records for all those years, I never had one act that went on the stage late.
Well, that's because performers, contrary to what Lauren says, do have an on and off switch.
Yeah, like that's part of being
and that on switch is called cocaine.
Well,
I said, I think it's just the right kind of balance between their uppers and their downers. And their
exactly. The 80s, they were all just like, time to go on. Let's do a line and off we go.
Well, but here's the thing. Like, as a former dancer, I've performed many, many times on a stage. There's never a time that I was like, I can't possibly do it right now. I need a half hour of
I need to get into my space, my creative space.
Yeah, then you can do whatever you I don't know. I never even thought I'm not ready to do this. It was just like, it's my time. I have to go on now.
I have a question.
And I wasn't even getting paid.
When I was at Capitol Records, we had some of the biggest acts in the world.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
And you think it was cocaine, Andy?
Obviously.
The 80s music?
Yes. 100%.
Well, don't you think too? Doesn't the crowd get them going?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Like the excitement of going on a stage is.
I know the adrenaline rush you'd think would be.
Yeah, and this was her 20. It was either 20 or 25 5th anniversary of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, like her biggest album.
Oh.
And so like it was the first day of her tour too. So it's like you think she'd be
You'd think she'd be
excited
up
and
about
like
it, yeah.
but
And especially because, and I get like maybe 5 minutes late because like, oh, we're gonna build up some excitement.
Kevin's gonna give him 5 minutes.
You get 5 minutes.
Like I want to, like as a performer, I want to run out on the stage, hear everybody scream my name. Like I don't want to wait 2 hours, and now you're all pissed.
It's also possible. It's like once you've done it for so many years, it's probably like this again.
But then don't do it. Like, what's the point?
That's the thing.
Money.
Yeah.
I suppose. And she wore a giant bow when she walked on stage, and I was like, look, Lauren, the gift we've all been waiting for. And all these people are like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. And yeah, I mean, probably I'd say a quarter to a third of people had left by the time she went on.
Yeah.
So it was like,
They still paid though, didn't they?
Oh God.
Yeah.
They still paid.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Well, I have to take off. I have to do another media thing. But quick recommendation: Hulu, the new. It's the reboot of Goosebumps.
Oh,
really?
Is it good?
Really,
Or is there a
really
TV show
good.
now?
There are 5 episodes available that dropped on the 13th, Friday the 13th, of course, and then it's week by week starting this Friday.
Is it what's it rated?
It's it's on Disney Plus as well. I think it's probably tailored more toward the tween teen, not
Like it
young
always
kids.
was.
And I think this has a scarier edge than the old series from the 90s.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was going to say, like,
So-
it sounded like the 90s.
But I mean, it definitely brings in all those elements of R.L. Stein's books, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, we kind of power watched through the first 5 episodes. It was amazing. So it really kept your attention. And now they're going to string us out for 5 weeks as we finish out the first season, and
So-
probably more.
So there's it's on Disney Plus, and what's the other channel?
Hulu.
Hulu, which
Hulu,
is owned by Disney,
Which
so-
is Disney Plus at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, generally, Hulu is like your harder edge stuff from the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And in being that they own Fox, they may tend to put a Fox title on there more than they would on Disney Plus. Although they have all the superhero stuff from Fox there, but yeah. I was pleasantly surprised, and after seeing stuff like The Exorcist Believer and all that sort of stuff, it's kind of nice to just have. It's lighter stuff. It's not gory. It's gross. A lot of gross out moments, but yeah, I obviously tailored more towards kids. But again, I think older kids will do a lot better than younger kids. So,
all right, young man,
we'll talk with you Friday.
Go about your business, mister.
I'm going to be going to see the 3.5-hour Martin Scorsese movie.
Oh God,
I don't know.
Killers of the Flower Moon. So
it's supposed to be
we'll
good,
see
right?
how awake I am on Friday.
3.5 hours.
Alrighty.
3.5 hours.
Bring
See
your
ya.
correspondence.
All right, Timmy, thanks.
I have to leave too.
Alex has to leave too.
Although I wanted, before I leave, I think it was a Goosebumps episode. Andy can confirm or deny potentially. But I remember it still comes into my head every once in a while, and I'm still creeped out by it. It was called People Can Lick Too. And it was a blind kid that had a seeing eye dog. And every night the dog slept under the kid's bed.
Okay.
That I think
That wasn't Goosebumps. It was something else.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No, because the dog ended up dead.
I don't know. Are You Afraid
In
of the
the
Dark was
shower.
for like older
Really?
kids. The Midnight Society.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe it was. But anyway, and so the dog slept under the bed every single night. And then the blind kid, as he was falling asleep, the dog would lick his hand.
Yeah.
And then in this episode, this guy breaks into their house, kills the dog, hangs the dog in the shower.
What?
And is under the kid's bed and licks the kid's hand. Like the dog.
The guy.
Yes.
Guy licks his hand.
Yeah, and the kid's blind, so he doesn't know the difference. And on the bathroom mirror, it says people can lick too.
I think
Interesting.
that I
What
cannot sleep anymore.
watching as a kid?
That's a kid's show?
Yeah, I was like probably
many
9,
years?
10. I still think about it sometimes, and I'm like, oh,
It's actually it's an old urban legend that it's been in a bunch of different things.
Oh, really?
Campfire Tales.
Campfire Tales.
There you go. From
That's
1997.
what it was. It was Campfire Tales.
It's an anthology
Yeah.
of different
So I was 8
urban legends.
watching this.
Yep.
Why would you let me do that, Mom and Dad?
Campfire Tales.
What is wrong with you?
Probably
What is
wasn't
wrong
home.
with you?
Well, Campfire Tales, you would think that sounds fairly innocent.
Singing Hakuna
Yeah,
Matata.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The story is called The Licked Hand.
The Licked Hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So freaking creepy.
And I saw a creepy show. It was I know what you did, and I saw who I know who you are, and I saw what you did.
It's called I Know
I
What
think
You
that
Did Last Summer.
No,
No, it's different.
I'm kidding.
They used to call. They were calling and pranking people, saying that, and somebody actually did something, and then they were in the
I remember.
house.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes. I've seen
whatever
this.
that is. I mean, seriously, I've never gotten in my car without looking in the back seat since.
Yeah,
I bet.
it's
Yeah.
a good thing to do. Okay.
All right,
bye,
Alex, before you leave,
What?
I got to read something to you, and I want you to guess what it is.
No goody.
Savannah, Georgia. A Chatham County resident is seeking answers for receiving a speeding ticket after being pulled over in September.
Devin already told me.
Oh, you told her?
Oh yeah, I ruined it. But you can.
He was reading the story
How
when
about
you were
Andy?
gone.
How about you?
I haven't heard it.
Okay. I want to hear the
A Chatham County resident is seeking answers after receiving a speeding ticket after being pulled over in September. I mean, I can't imagine someone would have to pay that much for not showing up for a speeding ticket, said criminal defense attorney Sneh Patel.
Sneh.
S-N-E-H. That'd be Sneh, wouldn't it?
I think so.
Yes.
How much was a speeding ticket, Andy?
$400.
$1.4 million.
It must be a
that might be a-
typo.
Nope,
no,
it's
not
not,
a
a typo.
Yeah, like what?
Who can afford that?
Yeah, what did he do? What?
He was going 90 and a 55.
Okay, so I'd say that's maybe
And
$1,000.
So the way, because I read through it towards the bottom of the story, it's when they issue the ticket, they because you have to show up to court in order to get it dismissed or something. So they put a placeholder of $900,099 or whatever. And
It's
so
definitely a placeholder or like a computer error. Kind of
and
thing.
then that plus his fines equaled the 1.4.
Oh, I'm
million.
guessing
But,
he'll
yeah,
challenge
he's
that
not-
in court.
yeah,
guessing
he's not
yes.
gonna pay that.
I'm not gonna pay this. Okay, bye.
All right, we'll
Bye.
see you later, Alex. Have a good day.
I will.
Don't tell me what to do,
Don't
Dad.
tell me what
Forget
to do.
it.
It's always a good day at school.
$1.4 million speeding ticket.
I don't even think my Amex would let me pay that one.
No.
Amex wouldn't step up and cover that
No,
for you.
I don't think so.
Joe from Louisville has some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What's the break? Is it about the strike?
Yes. 3,700 workers at Detroit's 3 casinos are on strike.
Casinos?
That's what he says.
Casino.
So it has nothing to do with cars. It has to do with casinos?
Oh yeah, this is a different strike.
Oh.
Not the auto
What?
worker strike. This is a casino strike
Everyone's
in
going
Detroit.
on strike.
Oh my God.
And apparently Vegas is on the verge of having a massive 50,000 people strike.
So why is everybody going on strike right now when money costs a fortune?
Because it's too expensive to live and everybody needs a raise.
Yes, I suppose
Yes.
that's true. That would make a lot of sense. No question about it. So honestly, so everybody's going on strike.
Yeah.
Yep. Seems that way.
And it's starting to feel like once you get one group of people that goes on strike, then the people that were kind of on the edge now they're like, well, you know what, we can strike too. And so I feel like it's just a domino effect going on.
And US Bank is closing 38 branches or something like that.
What?
Yeah. And Wells
that.
Fargo is closing branches there
Why?
because they've got problems.
Well, they keep
Money
alienating
problems?
customers and making horrible financial decisions, so that makes sense.
Wells Fargo is?
Absolutely.
So what,
Wells Fargo's always been a
Yeah.
horrible place.
Now, has it
in my
really?
opinion. Yes.
I've
I
never
remember
dealt with
when
that
they were
much.
doing all when people were trying to get bank loans and they were they would make people sit there in a truck and not close on their houses with their belongings in a U-Haul for 3 to 4 days because some piece of paper didn't get done.
Really?
Yeah.
Why
in,
would
back
you
in the
treat people
first
like
housing
that?
crisis? Because they were too big to fail. And we keep bailing these people out with our tax dollars, and then they treat everybody like crap. That's just how the universe works now.
Well, US Bank is those two brothers from Minnesota, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think. Who owns US Bank? I don't know if they
Pretty
still
sure
own
it's
it.
a
but
huge conglomerate.
Yeah.
it is now, but
BlackRock.
I think it started here, didn't it?
Headquartered in Minneapolis.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And what were the brothers' names? They were John and Jim something.
John and
Jim US.
Yes, that's their name. I can't. Oh, so it doesn't say on there?
It might once I read a little bit more.
All right, yeah. John and Jim, I think, were their names. I think they were members at Spring Hill when I used to go out there and play golf. I think that's where I met them. Seemed to be nice enough guys, but apparently not the best bankers in the world. Is that what you're talking about?
Regulator, oh no, that's a different one. JP Morgan, U.S. Bank run in slow motion. Oh, U.S. Bank deposits fell by 12.5 billion in the latest week.
Oh my God! In 1 week?
Wow.
Yep.
What happened?
Well, they're paying 0.1% in regular savings, and money market accounts are
That
only
ain't gonna
offering
work.
4%. So people are probably finding someplace better to park their money if anybody even has any savings.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
That's the other thing.
true,
People
yeah.
have depleted their savings accounts. Everyone's living off of credit card debt because it's just so expensive to live.
It is now. It is amazing. I mean, when's the last time you went to the store and got stuff for less than $100?
Not
I
often.
never have cash.
Never.
If I didn't pick your pocket, I would never have cash.
If I didn't pick your pocket,
John, can I have $20?
Those are my favorite
I don't
moments.
even mean cash, but I mean, you go buy like 5-6 things and it's $100.
Yeah, well, I went to the grocery store yesterday and like there was chicken breast, like just your normal sized whatever, and it'll vary by pound, but it was like $40 for like 4
I know.
chicken breasts.
It's
I was
insane.
like, are you serious?
It's insane.
$40 for 4
Yeah.
chicken
and,
breasts.
and I'm sure whatever the package probably weighed a little bit more than the other ones that were less expensive, but I was like, there's no way that you're going to tell me that this is $40 worth of chicken. That's really
$40.
not-
Okay.
Bank of America closes 21, Wells Fargo closes 15, US Bank closes 9, and Chase closes 3.
These are all banks that are closing.
In
like-
total, some 54 banks have been closed or scheduled to close.
And that just happened this week?
Yeah, it was just on social media today.
My God.
People should have their money in small credit unions anyway.
Or Bilski's bank.
Well, they have
he's a
small
smaller bank.
local
He
banks,
is.
yes,
smaller.
definitely.
Yeah, like mega gigantic worldwide banks. No,
I've never been involved in one of those. They tried to get me to do one once, and I can't remember even which one it was, but I just didn't like it at all. They were very impersonal. I do remember that.
well, yeah, that's comes with the territory.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So I just had no interest in doing business with someone who was like, oh, you're here? Okay, I suppose we can help you.
North American Bank has how many branches? Like 5?
5, I think.
5, yeah.
Indeed.
Nice
You
and
got
small.
Bilski. You know what I'm saying. All right. So what else is happening? Anything good in life?
Good things in life. There's a lot of negativity. Not really.
They were talking about that when the morning show started this morning. It's like, I'm not going to sit here all day and talk all this negative crap.
No, I think the only like positive thing is the Papa John's they're putting Twix bars inside of pizza dough and like their new
sounds
dessert.
Horrible.
That sounds terrible.
Papa John's Twix.
What?
Look,
It's like a dessert
it's
pizza?
it's a dessert. So it's
Twix Papa Bites.
yeah,
Terrible.
Depending.
cheesecake filling and Twix cookie bar
Twix
pieces
Twix are
into
delicious.
little
Twix
8
are good.
freshly baked whatever cups of dough with caramel
Cups
syrup.
of dough.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like a,
so
like
like
the
a
garlic
little-
nuts
Oh,
thing, except it's
sweet.
It's got
cheesecake
chocolate.
and chocolatey Twix pieces in there.
Really?
Yeah, sounds
might
pretty
be,
interesting.
Might
and
be
it's-
good. Who knows? I like Twix.
Yeah,
Maybe we should run over there on the way home, Kathy.
I don't want to eat it, but
$5.
I don't want to eat $5.
$5 for
For a
some Papa
plate.
Twix bites.
I'm sure one plate. I want to see how many calories.
Ooh,
these
they
are.
also have Oreo cookie Papa bites too.
Oh, Kathrine, Oreos.
and we were just talking about Oreos, how they're an overrated cookie.
Oh my gosh, Kathrine! No, they are not overrated. They're
He didn't
so
like that
good.
call.
Really?
Ah.
They're okay dunked in a little milk or
Yeah,
something, but
see?
no, I don't go out of my way for Oreos.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite cookie?
I just like a nice chocolate chip cookie
Chocolate
with
chip,
walnuts.
mm.
I'm one of those
Oh,
people.
yeah,
I
it's
like the
walnuts.
walnuts.
One order
Or
of Papa
pecans.
Bites is 640 calories. So actually not as much as I expected.
No, really?
Considering you get 8 of them.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, you
80
get-
calories per bite.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's could be worse.
Could be. Yeah, it's a better way to put it. Could be worse.
Considering I used to get when I went to Domino's, I would get a large pizza and an order of lava cakes and eat it all in one sitting.
Oh yeah, I used to looking back at the things I used to eat and the amount of food I used to eat is disgusting.
Oh, I lived on nacho cheese Doritos and diet. No, not diet.
No,
Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
Dr. Pepper when I was a teenager. That's all. I mean, the entire summer. That's like what I ate.
I did a calculation. So the summer or the winter before I met Melissa, it was the last winter I lived in Florida.
Yeah.
And during that time, I was eating a whole lot of Boom Chicka Pop white cheddar popcorn.
Oh, Boom Chicka Pop.
And I ordered
We
it
still
on
buy
Amazon. And I counted it up, and I ate 27 bags of it in 3 months.
Oh,
well, no wonder you had gut problems your whole life.
No, I felt great actually.
Oh.
I was down to my lowest weight in years. I was feeling fine.
You're on the Boom Chicka.
Yeah, the popcorn diet.
Popcorn diet.
Honestly, just eating an insane amount of
Oh, I
popcorn.
guess
and
that is fiber. Does it have fiber? I guess
it's a lot of fiber. You get the protein from the cheese. Why not? And
it's not
I
real
was also
cheese, though. Is
walking
it
like
cheese?
well over probably 2-3 miles a day. So
Oh,
there
well,
is that
helps.
too.
Yeah.
So a question for you again. What were you eating?
Boom Chicka Pop white cheddar popcorn.
And you ate, how big were the bags?
They were the normal size, like grocery store bags. So
and you
like
ate 27 of those?
Yeah, that's like serving it for 8.
Yes, absolutely. I would eat an entire bag as like just a snack.
Oh, popcorn is good, man.
I remember you and your microwave popcorn phase.
Back in the day.
Oh my
I
God.
remember. The burned bits were always the best part.
Yeah.
They were.
And then we found out that there's nothing but carcinogens in those
I know.
popcorn bags.
Popcorn lung.
That's not true, is it?
My uncle
It
used
is.
to make microwave popcorn, and he would take like a stick of butter and melt it and just dump it over the top. And it was the soggiest. But I was like, as a kid, I was like, oh, it tastes great.
Oh, and Melissa's grandma made mashed potatoes. I think she said she put like 6 sticks of butter in the recipe.
6?
And then melted another one on top.
Why not just eat the butter? I mean, really.
There's people
Why
like
not just eat the butter?
I know many people like that who would gladly just eat a stick of butter if it was socially appropriate.
Really?
A whole stick of butter?
Some people just cannot get enough butter.
Butter is good.
We have a caller.
Okay.
We have Wendy on the phone.
Wendy.
Would you eat a stick of butter, Wendy?
Would you admit it?
I'd have to really up my limit for con.
Yeah.
Butter, if I cooking, I will do butter in my recipes as opposed to other options.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to put 7 sticks of butter in a recipe of mashed potatoes.
No.
I mean, you can be really drunk and still realize that 7 sticks of butter is too much for mashed potatoes.
I mean, it just has to be floating in butter.
Basically, yeah.
right?
I remember her
Yes.
brother made their grandma's recipe like the first or second year I had met, because her grandma died just before we met.
Right.
So he like honored her by making her recipe with it. And it was like, yeah, you could have taken a spoon and like skimmed butter off the top of these mashed potatoes. No problem.
Wow.
Good.
And I
great
think he
night.
actually
Well,
cut the butter because he was like, that was too much. We need to cut it down a little bit.
Oh, down to 3 sticks.
Well, Catherine, I'm with you. Chocolate chip cookies.
Mhm.
I'm all about the walnuts.
I'm sorry. They have to have walnuts.
Yeah.
Well, and the best way to do it, toast the walnuts first and then put them in the cookies. Oh my goodness,
that
they're
sounds
so
really
good.
Mhm.
Sounds like a lot of
Yeah,
work.
it is. We tried it once before just because I like, messing around in the kitchen with that kind of stuff. And I'm like, now I can't have it where I don't toast walnuts.
Yep.
You ruined it
Dang
for
it.
everybody.
You can toast or smoke anything and it will become better.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to be really careful when you toast stuff, though. I mean, you cannot walk away
No.
Burn
because it can go from pleasant and toasty to gross and burned in seconds.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that that's happened in this work, which it has several times. But yeah, chilly up, man. No need to be.
Oh, you're strobing a bit there.
Phone's not doing so good.
Is this better?
Yes.
I think so.
Weird. It depends on what side of my head I hold it on.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's hot. We got to get to Tom some like anti-stress cooking going. It's like, you got to chill, man. I mean, the world is terrible, but you know, the world where we, you know, right in our little corner, not so bad.
The world is terrible yet delicious.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Why?
You know, for that Papa John's thing, instead of the Twix bar, here's an idea, and I may have to try this. Make pizza dough, and instead of like, put some cocoa powder in there, and then chop up some, you know, after it's risen a couple times, then grind up some Oreos, and then mix that in before the final bake.
I think they
So
basically
you're gonna
do that.
have, well, yeah, but not put anything inside. Serve like a dipping sauce with it, like a whipped cream and vanilla. I don't know, just
Butter.
something else.
Yeah.
No,
Stick
not
some
butter.
butter on there.
Whipped cream, vanilla, a little bit of powdered sugar. You know, that together that way, you can control how much of the sweet stuff that you want in it. Because cocoa powder, I did learn, if you use cocoa, like if your brownies or cookies are coming up like very dry, that's because you're not using Dutch process. Apparently, Dutch process is one where they have more oil in it, and that helps stuff stay moist. Found that out by accident too.
I'll have next time I bake, which will probably be never.
Yes, there is that. Not a big baker.
I'm making some of my salted caramel chocolate chip cookie dough bars this week because my husband asked nice.
Oh, very nice.
He loves those. Those are his favorite.
Yep. Baked goods are this is the time of year. Chili and baked goods. Can't go wrong.
Oh heck yeah! This is the time where like Michael Bryant, Doug Sprint all like watch my Facebook posts and are like, oh, I would get so fat if I ate them.
No, you just have to keep a couple and give it all away.
There you go.
That's kind of what I do.
Yeah, it's the best way.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Well,
I figure I haven't called in a long time, so I thought I should at least call and say hi because I've been working like a slave, man.
Working like there's no tomorrow.
Pretty much.
All right, well, call
I
in
need
more.
a vacation day.
Okay, take a vacation, then come back and call in more.
Yes, we hereby grant you a vacation day.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I really do.
All right, my dear. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Wendy calling in, ladies and gentlemen.
Wendy.
She's been a caller
No,
for what, like 11 years? Something like
She's
that?
making me want cookies.
She actually, let's
Cookie.
see, I can see here on the chat room that we have.
It has a history.
Each person who joins gets a new ID number. So
Okay.
I'm ID number 1 because I made the chat room.
Okay.
And then the next person to join will be ID number 2. Wendy is number 3.
Oh. Really?
So she was the second person to ever join our chat room, and that was a long time ago. I made this thing.
That was like 11 years ago, wasn't it?
Probably, if not more.
God, amazing.
Yep.
Well, this is not happy news. A man in Wisconsin known for his iconic Halloween decorations died Monday after falling from a ladder while decorating his house. Oh, the guy tries to entertain everybody at Halloween and ends up dying. Jeff Oman. His name is not Oman. You made that up. Jeff Oman often wore a skull-covered hat and had a zest for life. His friend Mary Meyer said she was a little intimidated by him at first impression. I didn't know what kind of person he was. Made me a little nervous just seeing how he dressed. I mean, looks are definitely deceiving. Oh, there's a picture of him. Yeah, he loved to dress up. It's a top hat with a bunch of skulls sewn on it. He's got the long hair. He's got the long white beard, and he's wearing a skeleton costume. He loved it. Oman's girlfriend, Sal Schaefer, said kids would drag their parents to look at the one-of-a-kind holiday decorations he put out every year. He did a lot of stuff for the community. He's kind of like an icon, Schaefer said. Meyer said Oman threw huge Halloween parties, spent hours getting his house ready for the spooky season. He also decorated his house for Christmas, and then it was an icon of our city. Also, this is Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Where's Beaver Dam, Wisconsin?
Don't know.
Probably a town of like 300 people somewhere in the middle.
That could be.
Beaver Dam. Let's see. Population 16,000.
Oh.
It's actually not tiny. And where is it? It's on Beaver Dam Lake.
Yeah. Where's that?
And
It's
that
in
is-
Wisconsin.
It's in Wisconsin. Yes. Where's that?
Looks
Somewhere
like
by
it's
the Dells.
Probably about 30 miles northeast of Madison. So it is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, absolutely. So in any case, he also decorated his house for Christmas and was that it was an icon of our city. So just remember how he loved his community and he wanted to spread joy to everyone. Poor guy wanted to just spread joy to everyone, ends up falling off a ladder and dying.
How old was he?
He was, I will go back. Doesn't say how old he was. That's kind of weird that it doesn't say how old he was because he looks to be around 70, somewhere in there.
Probably
Unless
shouldn't
he
get up on a ladder when you're in your 70s, I think.
Well, he might be younger than that, but
What's his name, Jeff Omen?
Omen. Yep. Just like Omen. His name is Jeff Omen.
68.
But he was only 68?
Mm-hmm.
Did he hit it hard in life? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think his obituary mentions that part.
Doesn't mention hitting it hard in life.
No, he was a firefighter and an EMT for 33 years.
Oh, look at that. See how wonderful that is. And the guy ends up dying because he fell off a ladder. That's not fair, is it?
No, you wouldn't think so. That's why I stay away from ladders.
Kathryn, I need to ask you a question.
What is that question?
Did you see the morning news?
Did not.
You might have a brother that lives about a block away from a shooting last night.
What?
Thomas and Golden Valley Road.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, well, that's like not even a mile.
A mile. It's about a block and a half from where he lives.
I'm trying to think, Thomas, where that is.
4.5 blocks. About.
It is 4.5 blocks. Is that
Yeah, if I do the alphabet, what he lives on.
If I do the alphabet. Yeah, because
that's scary.
I know it's very, very scary. It's unfortunate, but it's about, let's see, you got QRST. It's 4 blocks west of Penn Avenue on Golden Valley Road.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're
right.
right.
It's pretty
about,
close.
About 4 blocks from his house.
I never realized that this shows how much I pay attention to like street signs and stuff. But I didn't realize that they named the roads like in alphabetical order.
Some places do that, and some places, a lot of places.
Never noticed that?
No, I've noticed like the numbers, like okay,
What
first, second,
the
third.
hell?
I've never noticed that.
That's an education failure.
Wow.
Right there.
Apparently, that's what public school gets you.
Yeah, what kind of shit school did you go to?
Although
what?
in Minneapolis, some places are very alphabetical, and some places skip all over the place because of parks or parkways or whatever.
Okay.
So sometimes it doesn't seem like it's alphabetical.
But
depending on
Minneapolis
where you live.
continues with a second alphabet. That's the amazing part. Minneapolis has 2 alphabets.
What? What do you mean 2 alphabets?
It goes from Aldrich to, is it Zenith?
Yeah.
Then it starts over again with Abbott, Beard.
Huh.
It starts a new alphabet right after that.
Yeah,
And you've never noticed either one of them.
When we were driving down to Red Wing, there's also a highway, all of a sudden AA and QQ.
Yeah.
So, Wisconsin will do that where it's like County Road A, double A, things like that. But I never realized that in Minnesota. I thought it was just random.
Yeah, because part of the trip down there takes it. Depending on which way you go, you can take the river road, which takes you into Wisconsin on that side of the river for a little while, which is a very pretty drive.
Yep.
It's very,
There
very
you
pretty.
have it.
Yeah, and that's where it was like QQRR.
See, I like living out in the country where it's the opposite. It's just like turn right on 9,714th Street.
God, I just looked at something here. Where's Power 96 Classic Rock KQCL?
KQCL.
It's in Minnesota somewhere, I think.
It is?
Faribault, Owatonna.
Oh, Faribault. Okay.
Sure, whatever.
Faribault. Yeah. This study says that because of crime, unemployment, and other evidence, these are the top 10 worst places to live in Minnesota. Next to Tevin Pittman. Number 1.
Right there. Dropped a pin right by his house.
I'm a loud neighbor.
When I think of Minnesota, some of the first things that come to mind are trees, lakes, loons, and great scenery. These are going to be the top 10 worst places to live in Minnesota. You ready?
Minneapolis, St. Cloud, Detroit, Duluth.
Detroit. Okay, we'll see if they're on here.
It's just going to be all the big cities, I have a feeling.
South St. Paul.
Uh-oh.
Glencoe.
Glencoe? There's like nothing in Glencoe.
Does she like it?
It's great. That's fine. There's no way Glencoe is on this.
Glencoe's number 9.
We almost lived in Glencoe.
Oh, did you?
It's a great place to live if you want
to get
a septic tank and a well system.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
There's like literally nothing there.
Columbia Heights.
That's like
That surprises me.
northeast.
Northeast,
Yeah.
South Central Avenue.
Yeah.
Waite Park, which is all the
Waite
way.
Park is basically St. Cloud.
That's
It's
St.
a suburb
Cloud.
of St.
Yep.
Cloud.
Brooklyn Center.
That's not a surprise.
No.
The top 5, St. Cloud is 5th.
Yeah, there you go. I've heard
feel like
St.
there's
Cloud
a-
is.
They have problems.
Yeah.
Do they really? I
Mhm.
love St. Cloud. Don't mess with St. Cloud.
There's problems up there.
Yeah, it feels like there's always some sort of like incident at the mall out there.
Well, it's a college town, right?
Yeah, it's a
So,
college
I
town.
mean,
That's true.
Yeah.
Minneapolis is number 4.
Only 4.
The
Huh.
next 2 amaze me. Number 3 is Bemidji.
Bemidji's very poor. I know that much.
Oh, so that's what it is because it's so poor. Yeah, that would
I
make
like
sense.
the name Bemidji.
Where's Hawthorne? I don't even know where Hawthorne, Minnesota is.
Hawthorne.
Never even heard of it.
Don't know.
Hawthorne is. Oh, how do you spell it?
Hawthorne.
N-E, Minnesota. Hawthorne is. Oh, Hawthorne is North Minneapolis. It's a neighborhood.
Hawthorne Park. They're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about.
a neighborhood in Minneapolis.
Oh,
Well, it's not a town.
Not at all.
Oh, actually, it just says the top 10 worst places to live in Minnesota.
Okay, so that's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Hawthorne. Yeah, Hawthorne's over in North.
So Minneapolis is in there like 3 times now.
Right.
Yeah.
you got
Heights is
Hawthorne. You got
Minneapolis is winning the race.
Yeah.
No, there was number 1 though. This does surprise me.
What's that?
The worst place to live in Minnesota is St. Paul, Minnesota.
Huh.
That surprises
Well,
me.
that doesn't surprise me
Oh, really?
because St. Paul doesn't have even a department store anymore downtown.
No, it doesn't.
Minneapolis
No,
is
that's true.
close to that, but yeah, St. Paul, everything kind of closed down. I don't know. They put in all that housing for homeless, and that whole area's gotten shady over by the Capitol, or no, by the church, no, by the not the Science Museum. Where did Alex have her wedding reception? The History Center.
The History Center.
The,
yeah.
the History Center. That whole area's gotten real sketchy.
That's what I've heard.
I haven't
Yeah.
really been to St. Paul proper since I moved out.
Yeah, there's
Almost
only that,
ages ago.
there's that only that one area over there by that Italian restaurant. Casetta's. That's
Yeah.
still like where people go and do
Right.
stuff.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
All right, that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you tomorrow.